disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
We just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. You got nothing.
I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.
All right, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. We're back. And we seem to be appearing on YouTube finally on the subscription box. For some reason, we weren't showing up, so nobody knew we were fucking live. Let me just make sure we are there. I did some tests yesterday. Yep. All right, we're showing up. Finally. We have Stu Little in the house already. Stu, what's up?
Yeah, what's happening, Butcho?
What's up? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, not too bad, brother. Too bad.
Before we continue, I just want to, since we're in June already, the donor of the month is Mike P. Mike P, I believe he's from the UK. He uses pounds. But honorable mentions, Stu Little, G Boogie, and Pompey 85. All of you guys donated quite a bit of dough. So I want to thank you guys for your donations, and I want to thank.
Yeah, I'm going to donate again. Don't worry, I'm going to.
It's okay, Stu. You're already here. You're helping out.
No,
Don't worry,
man. I'm going to. I've got a nice little check coming soon, so I'm going to donate a little bit more. But just bear with me.
All right. No worries, man. But I want to also thank everybody who donated last month. All the names are on your screen right there, guys. Thank you for your help. And also, if you can't donate, don't worry about it. Just as long as you watch the show, like and subscribe, and all that. You're helping us out. All right. Well, let's talk boxing. I'm tired of talking about the riots, man. Seriously. They had some riots in Montreal. Can you believe that shit? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and London as well. It's kicking off. 1 minute they're moaning about people. Gathering in crowds because of the coronavirus. Yet they're gathering in a crowd to moan about something that happened in America. Look, what happened in America is a disgusting thing, but what is rioting in Montreal going to change when it's a completely different country?
Exactly.
Let America tidy up their own house, if you get what I'm saying. They don't need some fucking Canadians and British fucking condescending pricks, telling them what to do, really, do they? And telling them how to behave. Just look. I don't really get involved with that anymore, mate. Politics is not my thing anymore. It makes you miserable. It really does. I mean, I don't know. I've never been involved with a political debate where I've sat there with a smile on my face. It's a toxic subject to talk about. I keep away from it. Like I said, I've not watched any of this riots. I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. I watch movies. The only riots I see are in movies because from right now it's a real and especially Facebook. I've noticed Facebook's been a real toxic place to be since this Floyd incident. Do you know what I mean? So look, I try to keep away from all that. The world's a miserable place as it is at the moment with this coronavirus lockdown and everything else. Do we need any more fucking pressures? Do you know what I mean? So that's where I am with it.
Exactly.
Like I said though, I do disagree with what I saw. It made me sick to my stomach. I actually signed the petition, and I donated to his cause. Do you know what I mean? Because what I saw was disgusting. I'm not going to sit there and pretend it weren't, and that can't carry on. That shit like that can't carry on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it pissed me off as well. But I mean, things just got out of control, and I know that there's some peaceful protesters out there, but there's also, I guess, outside influences, that are They want chaos. That
Yeah,
want to affect
what
the
makes me think
elections,
is that
basically.
these little middle class white people, they're not there because they care about
No.
what happened to that guy. They're there to feed off the anger of black people. They're politicizing it basically because it's any way to get at Trump, because they'll find a way to blame Trump for that murder.
Well,
That's
exactly.
where they are, and they're
yeah.
just disgusting human beings. And I'll tell you what, mate, one better not ever cross my path with that sort of energy, because it'll be the last path they ever cross. You know what I mean? Because that's where I am with it. I just don't like white liberals. I think they're a cancer to the planet. They're sitting there winding up all the minorities, aren't they? But when listen, mate, they might be very careful, because if you keep poking the stick at a dog, sometimes the dog turns on you, and that's what that's where I'm with that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same page as you, man. But yeah, let's just talk about something else, man. Mike P, by the way, says he's from Portugal. His PS4 says UK, but he's in Portugal. All right. Well, thank you, man. You're the donor of the month. There you have it. All right.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
Mike P, he's the man.
Must be all that handbag snatching from the British tourists.
Tourists, yeah. Didn't Kell Brook get? That's where he got. No, he got stabbed in Spain or something, right?
Kell Brook did, yeah.
But anyways, okay. So I read in the news that Eddie Hearn has a feeling that Deontay Wilder will drop out of that third fight, and if that happens, Eddie Hearn says that Dylan White is ready to fight Tyson Fury. So, what does he mean by he has a feeling? Does that mean he has knowledge, inside knowledge? What do you think, Stu? Oh, he's having a sip of coffee.
Look, I just think he's fucking connecting the dots. I mean, I'm not involved in any negotiations with Wilder and Joshua, but I could. I'm sorry, Fury, but I could have told you that. I just don't think Wilder fancied that again. It's just like any situation. If you get your ass whooped by anyone, you're not going to want to go back there and get another paste. It's just a mental thing with fighters. I mean, like I said before on the show, sometimes you just come across a fighter that's just Reddit Bow with Lennox Lewis. That's another one. I know they never fought, so it's a bit different. Wild, he's fought him twice, but after he took a lot, because they fought in the amateurs and because he got stopped, it was just a mental thing. That's why he chucked his belt in the bin, never wanted to fight him, ducked him at every. I just think that's what it is with Wilder. I just don't think he's going to want that again, because his career's done. If he gets another pasting, where does he turn? He can't start asking for Eddie Hearn for 50-50. You're fucking mad.
Yeah.
So look.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would make sense. But we talked about this a month ago, and remember Wilder came out and said no, like he wants the third fight, and like he left no doubt that fight was happening. But then all of a sudden, he's like, we're getting this feeling that he might not, he might actually take some step aside money, or basically the third fight won't happen. So I don't know, man. I'm starting to believe that it might not happen, and it makes sense, because why would you want to fight Tyson Fury again? Wilder didn't do anything in that rematch. Nothing.
You've only got to see the bizarre behaviour of Wilder after that fight, where he tried to justify his ass whooping. It was excuse after excuse. He didn't take it very well. Let's be real. He just didn't take it very well. I mean, that interview he did. I mean, when he was talking about being the king of Wakanda or wherever it was he was talking about. I mean, just absolutely fucking bizarre, wasn't it? And someone that's lost his mind. He's lost his fucking mind, mate. Sometimes that's what an ass whooping can do. I've seen it. Guys on the street thinking they're fucking Barry Big Bollocks. Get a good hiding. They're like Minnie Mouse the next time you see them. So look, that's where it is with Wilder. I think it's just a mental thing. When you beat up a bully, I've always said it with the bullies, the big punches, usually the big punches, they're used to hitting people and they fall over and that's it. But when someone starts taking their shots and throwing their own big shots, that's when you see a lot of the punches fold. And I just think, and they fold mentally as well. I mean, look at Batista. I mean, how many times have you seen him fold in a boxing ring because the heat got a bit too hot? Do you know what I mean? So look, that's where Wilder is. He's used to hitting people, they fall over, job done. And all strolling around until he's ready to throw the right hand. He can't do that with Fury. So I just think Fury's in better shape next time. He could probably do it even quicker, much more confident as well. He knows how to beat Wilder now. I mean, what can Wilder change?
Yeah, so you're saying mentally he's not there anymore.
No, mentally he's gone.
Yeah.
Mentally he's gone, mate. Shot to pieces.
It's a good point what you mentioned about he's a sort of like he was a bully. The thing is, he actually believed that he was the best heavyweight. And I'm not, obviously you need to have that mentality when you're a boxer, right? You always have to think that way. But I think because of the way he lost, like he came back down to reality and it became such a shock for his mind that he's still like trying to deal with it.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah.
The mental side of boxing is probably more important than the physical side. Don't get me wrong, you've got to be fit. But you can get by with cutting corners in certain fights. You've seen it where fighters have not been in shape and still pulled off the win sort of thing. But when you've gone mentally, it's a different kettle. It's a different kettle of fish. I don't know, who's that guy in the chat said I'm always shitting on who?
Martinez.
Can't see it.
Oh, Sergio Martinez? Maybe he's Argentinian.
No, I'm not shitting on Martinez. I'm just saying, I thought, well, I don't know. Did I shit on him? I thought fighting this corner the other day. Didn't I say he should be on the pound for pound list or something? Sorry, the Hall of Fame or something like that.
I think I don't remember. I think you said, yeah.
Look,
I think you're the only one of the few.
If shitting on someone, actually stating facts, then we're in a real bad place on this boxing community thing, isn't it? Where we can't state facts without shitting on someone. The fact I had Martin Murray winning that fight. I thought he was dreadful against Cotto. I thought the Chavez in the 12th round. I thought that was, he was lucky to survive that. And look, he spent most of his career fighting in Spain, for fuck's sake. I mean, real challenges over there, aren't there? So look, he in the end he became a pound for pound fight. I remember when people were talking about him wanting to fight Floyd, and people are picking him to beat Floyd. I remember it at the time. I mean, a lot of people saying Floyd don't want no part of Sergio. So Sergio was, especially after he knocked out Williams and people like that. And, but I just sort of saw Martin Murray just walk through his shots, eat him up like Patman, and just sort of, if Martin Murray had a little bit more about him, sort of thing, he could have stopped Martinez. I think that he just doesn't have that killer instinct in him, Martin Murray. It's all very methodical, isn't it? It's very robotic. Just doesn't change the pace up or anything. And I still think he won that fight. So that's where we are with Sergio. But if that's hating, then I'm a hater. Count me in.
Was it Martin Murray who went to Germany and beat, who was it, Stern? I don't remember anymore.
Say that again.
Martin Murray, he went to Germany at some point, no?
Yeah, he got robbed by, didn't he get robbed by Felix Stern?
Yeah, okay, he got robbed. So he beat him, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not a bad boxer, by the way, Martin Murray.
No, he's not a bad fighter, but what I'm saying is he's not a world beater, is he, either? And for me, he went to Argentina and beat Sergio in his, sort of his prime years, if anything. I mean, you've only got to look at the Argentinian crowd. I mean, even they thought he lost it, so.
Yeah, but I don't know. Anyways, you never, I don't think you talked shit about Sergio Martinez. A lot of people say, a lot of people agree with what you have to say. I mean, it's obvious he didn't look well against Cotto. I mean, he fucking got destroyed. Sure, his knees were gone, but he still got destroyed. And like you said, against Martin Murray, I mean, a lot of people had Martin Murray winning that fight. So that's not saying Sergio Martinez is garbage or anything. I mean, anyways, we got stuck on Sergio Martinez over here. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Wilder seems like he needs a sports psychologist. Very good point. But see, he's a proud man, so he probably never thought that he needed one. But if you look at like the best teams, for example, soccer teams or football teams in the world, like Barcelona and Madrid, they all have sports psychologists.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Carl Froch. He got one against Groves in the second fight. And this is a guy who's a narcissist, Carl Froch. I mean, thinks very highly of himself, that guy. So if a narcissist like that understands that he needs one, then maybe Wilder should look into that. Because like I said, mental side of things is quite very important. If you're shot mentally, the physical things don't work properly, And
Well, remember Mike Tyson? He always said boxing is 85% mental,
Of course it is.
psychological. He's yeah.
Look, what do you think Michael Spinks got knocked out in a round for? Did you see his face before?
Man,
that
this guy
fight?
was done, man, even before he got into the ring.
Did you see it? I mean, I said, you could use that face for a shot in a horror movie and it'd work every time. I mean, the guy just looked. That's probably I don't think I've ever seen a fighter that scared in my life in a boxing.
No, yeah. Not only is he like not psychologically ready for that fight, but you're giving your opponent the ability to relax, basically the opportunity, because your opponent sees you like that. He's like, holy shit, he's scared of me. And by the way, during that fight with Fury in the rematch, Wilder's face, he had that same face as Spinks. Remember, his eyes were wide open.
In round four, you just saw the fear in his eyes because them shots were hurting him. Man. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, when someone punches you in the face and it fucking hurts, you're not looking to take another one anytime soon, are you? So I think that, look, I'm not knocking Wilder, because at the end of the day, I'm not the one taking them shots, big shots at the end of the day. So I'm not knocking him for that. But look, mental side of things is so. That's why Prince Nassim Hamid retired after Barrera fucking scored him, because that aura, that cockiness he had about him was what made him who he was. And once that was broke, that invincibility was sort of broke. He could never return the same man, and that's why he quit, because you just can't. You can't keep carrying on the same act when you've already been schooled.
Mm-hmm.
Where Broner's the only one that seems to get away with that, and he's been schooled about 4 or 5 times. So,
do you feel bad for Wilder?
Listen, I don't feel bad for anyone that made $47 million last year.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I feel bad? Look, I don't like to see anyone like fucking get the shit that he took on the internet, because let's be real, he took quite a bit of it. And I don't like to really see that. We'll have your little pop and then leave it. Just months later, he's still on memes, isn't he, on Twitter and stuff. But this is what happens when you talk shit. You better back that up, because the internet is an unforgiving place when you come unstuck. I mean, I've seen so many fighters that have talked the talk, and then when they've come unstuck, they've had to come off Twitter.
All right. Yeah. He talked a lot, but I mean, he was giving he was backing it up, actually. I mean, he was knocking these guys out. Now, granted, he wasn't fighting, in my opinion, the best heavyweights out there. He was still knocking everybody out. So I can understand why he actually believed that he was. I can understand why he believed that he could knock anybody out. That I can believe.
Yeah, but the problem with that is he didn't believe that he had to work on anything. So he thought, just keep doing the same things. But then when you start stepping up the levels, that ain't going to be enough. Just strolling around with your right arm pulled back, waiting to land it, it's not enough. Being all over the place, your footwork's flat-footed and falling short with punches, falling square on, his mistakes are all there for us all to see, sort of thing. So he needs to polish up things. I mean, he needs a trainer like a man. I know there's not another Emmanuel Stewart out there, but that sort of trainer who's going to just get back to the basics with him. Let him stick to the fundamentals, because when you can, get behind the jab and get behind the guard, and you fucking got a right hand like that, that's going to get you wins. I don't care, man. If you just do the basic stuff, but I think Wilder's trying to be too fucking smart, So
what do you mean too smart?
Well, I just think he's trying to be too smart. I think he's doing things he's not good enough to do. He's trying to look how wild he looked. I mean, he's trying to throw these impossible shots.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. That's true. All right,
if you just stick to the basics, stick behind your jab and that lot, stick behind your guard. Like that old European style, Eastern European style is fucking quite boring to watch at times, but it's fucking
effective.
Gets results, doesn't it? It's effective, bro. It gets results, and when you keep in shape and keep you on, that can keep you in a fight, even when you're getting your ass whooped. If you keep in shape, that can keep you in a fight. But it's when you start, losing your shape like Wilder does and falling square on and fucking out. He's
no.
Off balance when he.
Oh,
up, yeah.
Hello, Johnny. I think Stu. I think we're losing your sound, man.
If you just kept things simple.
Yep, Stu, we're losing you, man. I guess drop out and come back. Your sound sounds very low.
And this Discord is Discord is being a real son of a bitch today, but I don't know why it was acting up like the Discord. I won't let me just click on the app, dog. I gotta go to the website, then log in through the website, and like, I was like, oh shit,
that's weird.
I was hoping I was gonna get the link, and I was like, oh shit, is it even gonna work? You know.
Well, you're in here. It sounds fine and everything. So, Stu,
Okay,
are you there?
good.
Let's check on Stu there. Stu, are you there?
Yeah, I had to come off and on again. I can hear now.
Oh, it's perfect now. By the way, just want to thank George for his contribution. He says, didn't Prince Nassim Hamed, break his hands years before the Barrera fight? I don't know. Stu, you probably know this.
Yeah, I mean, I know he had hand injuries, but that's no excuse for me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, he had hand injuries prior to that Barrera fight, but that ain't no excuse for getting his ass whooped like that. So
yeah. Look, Wilder has hand injuries. You know?
I mean, Tommy Hearns broke his right hand in the first round against Hagler. At Hagler's fault.
Yeah,
I'm saying
exactly.
Hey, Stu, you mentioned
Joe Calzaghe. Joe Calzaghe become a slapper through hand injuries because he got so many hand injuries. He had to slap his punches. That's why he started. That's why people call him Cal Slappy, isn't it? Because he started slapping his punches. He had to because so many injuries to his hands, and he used to wrap his hands himself. You know, and there's times when he used to pull the gloves off, and they'd be unwrapped in his gloves. I mean, that's fucking unprofessional shit. That is. When you think about a man like Calzaghe, letting that happen. I mean, it's just unprofessional, and that's why he slaps his punches when people always say that. That's the reason why, because he broke his hands so many times. But that's what happens when you don't wrap them properly.
Hey, Stu, you mentioned that Deontay Wilder probably needs like a Emmanuel Stewart type of trainer. Yet Prince Nassim Hamed had Emmanuel Stewart, and I don't know.
It's different. Nassim Hamed is a very unorthodox fighter. Them sort of fighters, you just can't. It's like getting Roy Jones and trying them to teach him to fight like Vladimir Klitschko. You just can't do that, you know. So it's just Naz was such a wild start. Well, Naz was just such a wild style. You just couldn't. That was the worst appointment he could have made. And I'm a man who stood biggest. I'm a man who stood biggest fan. You know him. I think he's the greatest trainer ever. I do. But Nassim Hamed, he shouldn't have gone to Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart was never going to bring anything to Nassim Hamed. If anything, he needed to be with someone like Freddie Roach. Who just, I know Freddie Roach is a bit overrated himself, but Freddie Roach will just concentrate on the punching techniques and the punching, and that's what you have to. That's what you have to do with Nassim.
Yeah, I mean, he was. That's got to be the most difficult shit of kind of fighter to train ever, bro. Like that, he could have had fucking Emmanuel Stewart, Eddie Futch, and Ray Arcelo. He would have fought the same way. No.
And you take that unorthodox style from Prince, and you're taking away his KOs because most of the time he's KOing you because he's got power, obviously, but because you're not seeing the shots because they're coming from ridiculously strange angles, and that's what was knocking these guys out. You start taking that away from him and just turn him into a fundamentally sound fighter, and he's getting stopped.
So
if he'd have fought fundamentally sound against fucking Kevin Kelly, he'd have got stopped that night.
What's the deal? Eddie Hearn said that Wilder's not going to take the third fight or some shit like that. Bucho.
Eddie Hearn says he has a feeling that Wilder will drop out of that third fight. And if that happens, then Dylan White is ready to fight Tyson Fury. But, John Boy, hold that thought because Kenshiro calling from long distance, so I need to take his call. Kenshiro, what's up? Nope. So hold on, Kenshiro. Hold on. You're muted. All right, go ahead.
Oh, hi, how you guys doing? Yeah, I heard obviously what Stu was saying in terms of the psychological coach. I can understand how that can be beneficial. I think there are certain boxers who have had psychological coaches, obviously, but even if the psychological, I mean, this is my opinion, obviously I might be wrong, but even if the psychological coach does his or her job, does Wilder then have the tools in his bag to implement what is being taught from a psychological point of view, or even if a coach, because you look at Chris Eubank Jr., who I believe is obviously younger than Wilder, and he's got Roy Jones Jr. And Wilder's boxing has predominantly been very poor. He's been very dependent on the right hand. to the point, I think now towards the end of his, well, I say towards the end of his career, the latter aspects, he's looking for the right hand. So psychological aspect, that is a hurdle to overcome. But also, what boxing ability has he got to change so the ramifications don't, end up in the same conclusion?
Look, the mental side is just to stop torturing yourself mentally every night. I think that's what it is. I mean, like I said, a man like Carl Froch, who's probably the most narcissistic bloke in boxing. I mean, that guy loves himself, doesn't he? Let's be real. And if he had to go and see someone, because George Groves got in his fucking head, and George Groves hurt him badly in that fight with big shots. So look, this is a guy who's got a good chin as well. So if he had to go and see someone to get it mentally out of his head, so because when you're thinking about the same thing every night, it don't just drain you mentally, it drains you physically. That's why nervous energy takes a lot out of your tank. That's David Price. I mean, his tank's empty before the first bell's even rung. So it's just all about saving energy. And look, I don't think David Blaine could fucking help Wilder win that fight. But look, anything that's going to make you in a better place on the night, it's got to be a good thing, isn't it?
No, of course, but obviously it's okay having a great brain, but if your body's not up to the challenge, in terms of skills-wise, I mean, I know you said about stick with a jab. I mean, there are other boxers you think, okay, you have a bad night or you have, a brain fart sort of thing, fair enough. But what skills has Wilder got from a physical perspective that he can implement even if the brain is correct?
Look, when you've got that right hand, you have a chance in any fight. As simple as that. That's the one thing about being a puncher. You're always in the fight. And anyone that writes Wilder off in the rematch and saying he's got no chance whatsoever, I just don't understand that. Because in the day, this guy... Look, if you try and connect the dots, it don't look very good for Wilder. Let's just say that in the rematch. But to say he's got no chance at all, I mean, any man with that sort of power has a chance. It's just... He's got so many flaws to work on, isn't he? I just don't think it can be happening in one count. He's always
got a chance. It's just very unlikely given the circumstance.
Yeah, that's probably the way I'd put it.
Yeah, especially if that right hand is nullified, or the game plan to stop it being utilised, then the world is your sort of thing, isn't it? If you can implement that for either 12 rounds or take Wilder out before the right hand even gets anywhere used, fruitfully.
I've always said you've got to put it on Wilder early. You've got to take his confidence from him. You've got to take his tank from him, because his tank... There's a reason why he fights at such a slow pace and doesn't really let his hands go often. I mean, how many punches did he throw against Ortiz before he stopped him in the second? Barely any. And that's because his tank empties too quick. This guy's got a bit of a freak physique. He's like... He's carrying a lot of muscle on them skinny legs. Let's just say that. And maybe that's what's taking his time. And then when he's loading up on them shots as well, when you miss them shots, that takes a lot out of you. So
takes a lot out of you.
The way to beat Wilder, you've got to get to him early. You've got to push him back and take some of the sting off those shots and take his tank from him. And then he'll just fall to pieces. His confidence will go. His shape will go. And he's there for the taking.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely agree with you saying. But on my part is... It's just the from me the skills that have just been severely lacking for him, where he has not had the need, unfortunately, to grow his skills, because he thought, well, I had not a nice easy right, but everybody's falling to the right hand. I mean, Stu, it's like if you play football, mate. If you got a great kick, for example, why do you bother need to dribble past people, for example, or header if you've got such a great kick? But once your kick is nullified, where either the defender is stopping you, then you think, shit, what else have I got to fall back on? Oh, I've got nothing else now.
Yeah, but we talk about Wilder not needing to improve because he was always winning, whatever. But after that first Tyson Fury fight, I mean, he was losing a lot of rounds. Wasn't that supposed to be the moment where Wilder would wake up and start implementing some changes?
But is it possibly too late due to the age even?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
He's had 45 fights. What? You can't ask him to change after 45 fights just like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. Go ahead, Johnny boy.
I was just gonna say, well, shit. I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather see fight White again. I don't need to see Wilder get the shit beaten out of him for a third time. It's pointless. Like I say, the whole purpose of a rematch in the first place is that the fight prior to it is competitive. If it's not competitive, you don't need no rematch, son.
Look, there's no enthusiasm from the American media to promote that fight, and if they're not behind it, then what is the point when they're getting paid that sort of money? Look, the second fight, was probably the best media coverage I've seen for a fight in many years. I mean, I thought the American media did everything they could to get that fight on top and get it promoted.
They did a good job.
Yeah,
they did
good job.
They did a superb job. It really was. I mean, you know, I like to give the Americans stick when they mess up, but I've got to give them praise for this one. They did everything they could. But the thing is, for this one, it was so one-sided. None of them are behind a rematch. Go and see, go and watch all the channels. They're all saying it. They're all saying, what do you want to see that for again? And that's the problem. If the media is saying that, then it's going to be hard to.
Still listen, and on top of that, you know, a week and a half ago or 10 days ago, whatever the hell it was, a couple weeks ago, Wilder was asking, I want like 10 million as step aside money, and Fury goes, well, why in the fuck I give you $10 million? I'd rather just beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
No, not the curse. My bad, Bucho. But you know what I mean. I'd rather just whip. What in the hell's the point of me paying you? I'd rather just whip your ass again.
The danger of losing. Twice. What about the danger of possibly losing to Wilder? I mean, that would be like a reason, but come on.
What the hell am I? The fuck am I going to give you step aside money for? I'd rather just slap the shit out of you again.
Yeah. Kenshiro, anything else?
Yeah, one or two. I reckon maybe Wilder's hoping that if he steps aside even voluntarily with that step aside money, maybe he's hoping that AJ wins. It's a different style, and he might have a chance to regain glory once again.
I mean, I think that would be the best option.
Why bother fight you when I know I can't beat you? But if Stu beats you, then I've got a chance at Stu. Maybe that might be a thinking as well.
Absolutely, and it makes sense. Actually, let
somebody else do it.
That would be one of the smartest things Wilder has ever done, in my opinion, if he does that. But all right, Kenshiro, thanks for calling in, man. Call back again later if you want. All right.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
All right, thanks. All right, people, the phone lines are open. Somebody called, but they hung up. So if you want to call back. We were talking about Chavez and Meldrick Taylor. And I don't know, somebody mentioned that Meldrick Taylor deserved a chance to continue because of the way he was fighting. He was winning the fight. So talking about Deontay Wilder, I mean, does he deserve a third fight? I know most of us don't want to see it, but does he deserve a third fight? Guys,
no. Does he fuck, man? I mean, what did he do in that second fight? I mean, did he win a second of that fight? I mean, the first one, you could call for the rematch. It was exciting enough. Wilder did enough in that fight to convince me that he deserved a rematch because it was a close fight. Let's be real, it was. But look, that second one was a demolition job. What do I want to see that again for? And look, I'm not the one who's going to have to pay $100 for it. It's you guys over there. So,
what about because of what happened in the first fight?
What?
What about Wilder deserving a third fight because of what happened in that first fight?
I mean, fucking hell. How far back do we want to go here?
That's they had the second fight because of the first fight.
Exactly. That's a good point.
Well, you're just going to pretend? We have to pretend the second didn't happen for there to get to the third because of the first.
Yeah. Good point. When do we forget about the first fight? Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Look, mate, I've got no enthusiasm for that fight whatsoever. I don't want to see the build-up. I don't want to see nothing. I just don't want to see it. I'm tired of Wilder Tyson Fury. I am. Look, I've seen Fury win twice now. I mean, how many? It's just ridiculous now. What's Wilder going to do? Keep playing until he fucking wins one or something? Come on, man.
Well, that's what. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. I mean, like Revolucion said, that's why you had the second fight to find out who was the best guy. Yeah.
I don't like trilogies.
Bucho, you're all real body. You're breaking up. I don't hear you.
Sorry.
He's all right for me. I don't really like trilogies. Trilogies have never been for me. I mean, it's very rare you get a good trilogy. All right. The Bo Holyfield was, and Pacquiao and Marquez. Well, I know it's 4 that was, but
you know what?
And you get Gatti Ward. You get them, Barrera Morales. I don't mind them ones, but that's just a few in the history. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really a man for trilogy.
Barrera Morales, Bo Holyfield, shit like that. Those were like 2 fights prior to the third one were both tick for tack kind of fight stuff.
Exactly. There was all close fights where you wanted to see a third. But look, no, there was not 1 second of that fight that Wilder won. So why would we want to see that again? And look, let's be real, Wilder's shot to pieces mentally. So for me, he might even crumble even quicker this time.
Here's a good example, though. How come nobody asked for a third fight between Rahman and Lennox Lewis? Well, you know why? That's a good example, right? Why didn't? Because
no, there's a difference. Because Ratman weren't going to win the fucking lottery twice.
No,
he had his.
It's like asking for Lennox and Oliver McCall 3.
Yeah,
come on.
The guy's crying. I mean, the guy's fucking crying.
In that second fight, Lennox Lewis was so superior to Ratman.
Yeah.
I mean, and that knockout's probably one of the best knockouts I've seen in a boxing ring.
Yo.
You just knew. No one called for that third. Who called for Ratman again after that?
Nobody.
It's like asking for a fucking Pacquiao Hatton rematch over here. I don't. By the way, I hope weather's as nice as you guys by me. It's like 90 degrees out here. It's beautiful. I'm fucking I'm so brown already. I look
fucking hot here as well. I'm sitting here with a fan on like fucking Mr. Miyagi. All I need now is a fly and some chopsticks.
Go polish the cars. All right, hold on. 773, you're on the air. 773.
Yes, Wilder deserves the rematch because Fury signed the contract. He needs to honor his contract and fulfill his obligation. And yes, I'm interested in the trilogy because Wilder already proved he can hurt Fury. He was about 4 or 5 seconds away from knocking Fury out in the first fight. He has the power to stop him at heavyweight division. Anything can happen. So I will be tuning in to the trilogy. Take it easy.
With excitement? All right.
Kevin,
he hung up. So I wanted to ask him.
You got to give to his Wild fans. They're fucking loyal, aren't they?
Hey, Kevin, I'm just really looking forward to that Masvidal Ben Askren rematch, bro. Since wrestling beats everything, man. That's all I know, bro. All
right. Well, listen, Wilder does have that power, but the thing is, you have to be able to land your punches. You need to be able to set your punches up, and I don't think he has the skills, man.
Bucho, even like a Golovkin Canelo 3, that's understandable because both the first 2 fights were competitive. That's even reasonable.
The problem is, can they fund this fight? Is this fight going to sell enough to pay? I mean, let's be real, because I know that one, the second one, who did very good numbers, I think. I mean, they didn't really make much after they paid Wilder and everyone and Fury and everyone else. They didn't make a lot out of that. So this fight's going to be half the numbers. So even if they did 1 million buys in the last fight, they're not going to do probably half. They'll do.
Yeah,
I mean,
they did 8 or 850,000 last than second.
I heard it was close to 1 million, but that don't really matter. At the end of the day, they're not going to get.
Well, that's what I mean. Just a shade under 1 million.
Yeah, they're not going to get anywhere near that in the third fight.
Listen, it is in the contract. It is contractually, like Kevin just said, the caller. He said it was in the contract. It's true, but then again, we're not in the same economic situation. Everything changed after COVID. People are gonna be more, they're gonna just spend money without thinking properly. They're gonna actually choose the fights that they actually think are worth buying. And that fight, why?
I think if Wilder can get, I think what Wilder's trying to do, he's trying to play his cards right. I think he's trying to get a fucking step aside fee for Josh. I think he wants to get paid for doing fuck all. And I think if he had his choice, he'd pull out the third fight and take a step aside money. I think that's what he wants. And that tells me, if he's doing that, that tells me he's just not mentally there for the third fight. He's lost already.
Good point.
Well, that's what I was going to say. People are going to be, Bucho, you just touched on it a second ago. That's what I was just going to say. People are going to be careful spending their money. Half the fucking country's out of their job and everything else with this nonsense going on. Like they're, I'm not changing the subject or anything, but like they're talking about Pacquiao and Crawford. I'll pay for that. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, if I had to
Yeah.
choose, I mean, why Fury Wilder? I mean, come on. But yeah, guys, we have phone calls.
The thing is, though, the fact that there's been no boxing for ages might actually get people to pay for it. It could be the one good thing that helps them. It's like just giving us any sort of boxing. We're so fucking grateful to watch any sort of boxing right now. We're going to jump on board.
Who cut an arm and leg? Or hold on, 954. You on there? 954.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
What's up? What's on your mind?
Nothing. I kind of see both sides of your story on what people think they may or may not pay for when this is over. They're like half the people that are out of their jobs, when they go straight back to work, they're going to have to catch up on some bills, so they may not rush right out to pay for something. But at the same time, I was just talking to people today at work, and they can't wait for sports to come back. And so people that are diehard sports fanatics, they may pay for this.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be marketed because there's that gentleman that called just before me that was all over thinking that it was like half a second away from Wilder knocking him out the first time. And a lot of those Wilder fans, as gentleman on board said, the Wilder fans are loyal, thinking that, oh, he can do it a second time if he just gets the right chance, because he wasn't, all the excuses that came of the BS of the rematch of just what simply happened was Wilder was just beat down. But the Wilder fans aren't going to accept that. They're going to think that if he gets the proper time to train and everything else, that there's a sellable moment here. The question is that I think Johnny said that people aren't going to necessarily have the money to dish out right away to something like this. And, NASCAR's on TV, NFL's on TV, baseball.
Yeah, the problem is, a lot of people.
What I was saying before you called in, like what was called to the caller? What would you, if you had a gun to your head and you had to make a choice on which one you were going to buy? What are you going to buy? Lomachenko, Teofimo, or Fury Wilder? Fucking 3, bro. Like, come on.
Oh, definitely Lomachenko. Yeah, I'm right there on you. I didn't get all that part of what your statement was. So having heard that now, I fully understand what you're saying. I fully agree.
No, that's all I was saying, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
Look, where I am,
some people,
a lot of people bought that fight, the second fight.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, brother. A lot of people bought that second fight because they were hyped because of the build-up. Like I said, the American media got behind that. Them fights were everywhere, all over American TV, all over adverts. That was pumped up, that fight. But they've seen it now. They've seen a destruction. A lot of these people that was on board, that are not really boxing fans, that probably watched that fight, bought it. I'm not going to buy this third one. It's just, it's got to be competitive to have a trilogy for me. I just don't think you can just keep fighting the same guy. I mean, it's like when you play your mate on the PlayStation, he keeps wanting to play you till he gets a win. I mean, when do you fucking call it a day, sort of? And I've had enough of Fury Wilder to last me a lifetime. I really
I honestly think that. I'm sorry, my phone cuts in and out, so I don't always mean to interrupt. So I apologize.
That's right, bro. Go ahead.
But,
go ahead, man.
I just think that, like, the true fans, not the casuals, have actually seen these two fights. And have actually seen mano a mano, man versus man, at the both of them at the best they possibly could. I think the best Wilder we saw was probably the first fight, even though most of us thought he clearly lost. And then the most prepared Tyson Fury, you saw what happened. Now,
Yeah, but this is the thing.
The head case that happened after the Klitschko fight, the second fight's going to happen again.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Yes, that was the best Wilder when in the first fight, but it was the worst Tyson Fury as well. Do you think Tyson Fury is ever going to be that bad again? You know, I just don't see it. I just don't think he'll ever be that bad again. I mean, look at the shape he was in. He looked dreadful, didn't he? And he still outboxed Wilder that night. He you know, he nearly cost him. It was silly mistakes and posing and stuff like that nearly cost him. But in the second fight, mind on the job, different game plan, which I said you had to do. You got to take it to Wilder. Got to make him fight you off because he will fall to pieces.
There's a precedent.
Go ahead.
I agree with everything you're saying, except for when there's a precedence when it comes time to a person's personality. What happened to Wilder after Fury after the Klitschko fight? He kind of went off the deep end a little bit for reasons not completely known to us. He may have shared a lot of it, but I mean, he just kind of can't. Would that happen again? And that's the only question I've got over Fury altogether is Now, when his mind's right, I have 100% faith in exactly everything you just said. But we can't tell if that's going to happen. We won't know through training camp. We won't know until he gets in the ring if that happens.
Look, just go.
That's my
I'll say this
if
to you.
Wild's
I'll say this to you,
100%.
bro. Go and watch the second fight again. Yeah. Go and watch the build-up. Just an hour before the fight. Everything. The nerves of Deontay Wilder. This fight took its toll on him mentally. I'm telling you that now. He just didn't look himself. I think the occasion got to him, and his tank was done by the second round. Now, put all them things in the fact that he's just had his ass whooped as well. So he's going to be in there again with a lot of these fanatics that are behind him. You know,
pressure,
telling him that he's going to win and telling him he's going to bring back the crown. You know, fucking hyping him up. And really, this guy should be keeping away from Tyson Fury, getting a few warm-ups, getting a bit of confidence back. So they're going to stick him back into the lion's den, and he's going to get eaten again. And look, I think it'll be even quicker this time because, like I said, Fury's going to be better and Wilder's going to be worse. Because I've seen it with punchers. When a puncher gets tamed, he's just never the same guy. And I just don't think Wilder will ever be that.
Yep.
He's going to have to land that perfect shot. And if he does, good luck to him. I just don't see him do it.
Anything else, caller?
You say, my friend. I'm sorry?
Anything else?
No, I think that's we've pretty much hit the nails on the head. I'm sure you got more of a show to do, but I don't think too many different points are going to be brought up. But thank you for taking my call, and I appreciate your show. And take care.
Thanks for calling, man. Take care.
Good call, brother.
Very good call. I like this type of calls. We need more calls like this. 832, you're on the air. 832.
832, you're on the air. 832.
Okay, there's a. You need to mute your YouTube.
Okay, look, I'm doing Discord off my phone now. All right, I had a lot of difficulty on the computer.
To the point, fuckhead.
Wait a minute, where are you?
Johnny? I'm not putting up with you anymore, Johnny.
All right, so who's calling in then? Okay, I don't know.
No, I'm using Discord on my
Okay,
phone.
I thought you were calling in, or somebody was calling.
calling.
All right. So I don't know who the fuck 832 was. Anyways. Anyways, I was gonna say something. I forgot about. Stu was talking about Wilder, and it's like fuck. Anyways, yeah.
What about that super chat, the Roman Gonzalez?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Did you address that?
Yes.
That's actually what you're talking about. Damn. All right.
Alex Collins says, "Thank you for your contribution, Alex." And he says, "Roman Gonzalez versus El Gallito Estrada 2. Who you all got?" I'm going for Estrada. I mean, the first fight was a long time ago. I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I don't think there's a knockout or anything. I mean, I don't think Estrada is that. He's no Rung Visai.
You're a Mexican fanboy. No, I got Chocolatito by knockout.
Are you kidding me? You're kidding.
I ain't kidding. I'm not kidding. I want what's in the fucking safe in the floor. No, I ain't kidding.
Oh, okay.
Well, the fight was a long time ago. Like you said, Bucho, it was... I'm looking for it right now.
Alex Collins says...
Where the fuck is it?
12 rounds, Chocolatito. Gerald Jones in the chat says Estrada wins unless Chocolatito can turn back the clock. But that's the thing, though. That's why I'm picking Estrada.
Oh.
Lubac, 77? Estrada says Estrada wins again. Again.
Yeah, Estrada's looking better and better every time I see him fight. I mean, he just is. I just think he's on top of his game at the moment. Pound for pound fighter. Chocolatito, I thought he was tremendous against Cal Yafai. I think he must be a terrible guy to fight. He must be. He's just to give you a fucking second to breathe. But I think with Estrada, I think Estrada knows how to beat Tito, and I probably have enough.
Fight to pick him.
Yeah.
Pick him.
I think for Chocolatito, I think the inactivity is gonna hurt him more so than the age, because they're not really that far apart in age. Gonzalez says he's 32. I think Estrada's 30.
Estrada's 29 or something like that. Yeah, 30. Yeah. It's like my age.
Discord's
like
not
my
working
age.
for me again, yo. Oh my! I'm gonna have to jump off and not come back on. Every time I get on Discord, like at some point, 5 minutes in, everybody's audio starts getting all fucked up. So
Can get you
I
through.
don't know what the
If
fuck's
you want
going on.
stream, I'll give you a StreamYard link if you want.
Can't hear a fucking word you're saying, Booch. I just gotta go.
Go on Skype.
Have a
Come
good
off
show,
then,
boys.
'cause you're
Go on
fucking ruining
Skype.
the show.
Oh God,
Ruining the show. Let me tell him. I'll get him a StreamYard link. What we're talking about, yeah, Strada, but I want to say something about Wilder. Well, anyways, Stu mentioned a good point though. Like Wilder fans, I mean, they're already talking as if Wilder has a very good chance of beating Fury, which I don't know where they're getting this idea from. I mean, I don't think they watched the second fight, but does this put pressure on Wilder? An extra pressure, like his fans.
A lot of pressure. Pressure he doesn't need right now. That's what I'm trying to say here. Them guys are not helping him. Trying to stick him back into the fucking, like, you know, this guy should be fighting an easy guy, getting a bit of confidence back, you know, not getting shoved straight back in there after an ass whoop. It's never been a good idea to shove some, and it's not like it's one of them where, you know, where Anthony Joshua got his ass whooped by Andy Ruiz, but there was moments in that fight where Joshua looked good and he could win the fight. So you thought if Joshua sorts a few things out, he could win that. But in this fight, you're not ever thinking that Wilder can do something different and get the win. It was just so one-sided. And I think Fury's worked him out now. He worked him out in the latter rounds of the first fight, and you saw he carried on to round 13 basically, and he's not going to win many rounds against Tyson Fury. Let's just say that.
Fanny. If any.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. But he needs to get his crown back. How is he gonna get his crown? You know what? In again, I gotta mention soccer. This probably happens in every sport, but when a team when a team's supposed to lose when they are the underdogs, sometimes they play better than expected, right? Because they don't have that pressure, right? Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's a good point, but Wilder's not like a normal guy, is he? Let's be real.
No, exactly. No, I don't think it's gonna work that way with him, because he is expected to win for some reason. Even though I think he should be able to come into that fight saying to himself, "You know what? I'm gonna probably lose again. I'll do my best." But he won't do it. His mind.
You know what, Pucho, it's funny because sometimes, like, I remember back in the day when I was a kid, when I was in like 8th, 9th, 10th grade. That's when the White Sox they had a good baseball team, right? I used to go to the games all the time in Chicago, and they were on fire. You know, they won the World Series in 2005. They were going to the playoffs, you know, for a couple of years in a row, whatever. But for some reason, the one team, the other team, the certain couple of teams in their division always had their number, bro, and they could have dog shit on their team, but they always had their number. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
There's something about that.
It's like Chelsea with Barcelona. I don't know, Butcher, can you remember that time? We were Chelsea under Mourinho. Chelsea under Mourinho. You know, that Barcelona team is probably the best side that's ever played football. And they're only the one team they hate playing was Chelsea. We just had a horrible, boring start, and we could defend, and then we used to nick a goal, and then their heads would go down. So we always had a way, and I suppose that's what Johnny's talking about, you know. And it's the same thing with fighters. Like we mentioned it the other day. Vernon Forrest with Shane Mosley, a prime example. Shane Mosley was a lot better fight. Shane Mosley was a much better fighter than Vernon Forrest, but Vernon Forrest just had that style that he just couldn't get the grips with.
Yep.
And that's it. Look what Mayorga did to Vernon Forrest after that, and then Shane Mosley goes and destroys Mayorga. So proves my point that Mosley is the better fighter. But when the two clashed in the ring, Vernon Forrest just had his number. And that's just it. You just get that in boxing. There's certain fighters. That's what I mean with Marquez and Pacquiao. Even though Pacquiao won most of them fights, Marquez was always in that fight, and he just always caused Pacquiao problems. He just had a style that caused Pacquiao problems, didn't he?
Always had his kryptonite still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to Fury and Wilder, are we really talking about that type of situation where like somebody has their number, or is it just a Wilder?
Yeah,
finally stepped it up.
I agree.
The worst fight Tyson Fury you're ever going to see in a boxing ring. Beat that guy in most people's eyes. I mean, and look, let's be real. Look at that kid he had in the corner. If it weren't for him, he'd have won that fight even more convincing. I mean, he fucking caught up. Like, you know my opinions on that. So look, he had a kid in the ring. He'd been a coke addict for fucking a year. He lost 147 pounds. He had to lose. I mean, come on, man. And Wilder couldn't win that. So, and then we saw the second fight. I mean, when Fury was in some sort of decent shape and and had a world-class trainer in the corner, a proper trainer, we saw what happened. And do you think more time in that camp, he's just going to get better and better? And he's looking hungry. He's happy again. He's spending time with his wife and his kids. He's ready to go again. So look, he's going to be a dangerous man, Fury. For me, he's the best guy in the division. I think he destroys Joshua as well.
Defended his belt 9 times. All right. He deserves a third fight. He almost knocked Fury out in that 12th round. Maybe he had a night. Maybe he didn't have, something happened that night when he lost that fight. But he deserves a chance.
I was like saying Darnell fucking Boone deserved a rematch with Andre Ward because he dropped him. Do you know what I mean? Come on, man. Where are we with this? Look.
That's a good point.
Oh,
that's a good point.
This fight for me is just not a fight that just doesn't whet my appetite at all. I'm just not bothered. I'll watch it, don't get me wrong, but I'd like to see Fury and Joshua in there. Even Dillian White. I'd rather see Dillian White in there with one of them two.
And another thing is, I hear people asking for Chocolatito Rungvisai 3. What the fuck is the point of that?
No, who said that? No.
I mean, look, the first one, I thought it was fight of the year. The first one, I even over Joshua Klitschko, I thought it was fight of the year as far as action goes. 2017, but the case was settled in the second one. What do you need a third one?
Name one person that called for a third fight between Froch and George Groves. Not one person. And George Groves was competitive in both of them fights. Did far more than Wilder did.
He got tired.
So look, no one called for that. It was a devastating knockout. It was a devastating stoppage. Time to move on, innit? And I think that's what happened. When you see a devastating stoppage like that, then you're just not going to sell it again.
Good point. But for some reason, it's in the contract, obviously. But I don't know.
Contract are worth the paper they're written on, Bright. That's the thing. Contract. If Wilder decides, you can't force Deontay Wilder in the ring at gunpoint, can you? If he doesn't want to take the fight, if he gets step aside, he's going to take that. I guarantee it. What do you think he's hanging around for? He's hanging around for that check to come, where he sits around at home doing nothing and gets a few million for it. Who wouldn't want that? Because let's be real, the longer this fight is in his head, this third fight, the less confident he's going to be of winning it. And for now, if you could get into Wilder's head, man, that guy don't want no part of Tyson Fury again. I can assure you that. I don't care what his fans say. I don't care what JD says. He does not want that fight.
But Stu, you were talking about the weather in the UK, how it's really hot right now. You have the fan on, and you're like Miyagi. What's his name again?
Mr. Miyagi. Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi. Yeah. What if Wilder gets like a Mr. Miyagi type of trainer, and he starts like meditating and polishing cars, like cleaning cars and stuff like that?
No.
Will that help?
This is you're going on like it's fucking Frank Dukes or fucking Daniel LaRusso. We're talking, where you going with this? Look. He can sit there and do the splits like Van Damme and all that, whatever he wants to do. It's not going to make no fucking difference, mate. I'm telling you.
You never know, man. I'm just saying. Hey, by the way, Revolucion in the chat brings a good point. Chocolatito got dirty in the Rungvisai fights with headbutting. He got frustrated and off his game. And then he says, now that time has passed and Rungvisai has lost, it's a compelling redemption. So it's true. Rungvisai has lost. It's been a year or something, 2 years. Why not have a third fight?
No, it's like one of them where...
Yeah, I agree. No. Sorry.
No one's calling for that. No one's calling for that.
No. My team over yours says Wilder needs a Apollo Creed in his corner. That's right. He needs to get that rhythm going, right?
Yeah. I don't even think a training camp in Siberia would help him either.
Wilder is a protector.
He done something right because he actually earned more than He actually earned more than Joshua apparently in the Forbes magazine. I think Tyson Fury was the highest paid athlete. Then it was Wilder in third or fourth, I think, and then Joshua was in fifth, if I remember right. So Wilder's done something right, hasn't he?
Good point.
He's made a lot of money.
Yeah,
You know, that's why you got to give credit to Wilder for a guy that's so limited with skills. He's conned a good living out of boxing, isn't he? Let's be real. He has. He's conned a good living out of. And that's why when you got power, people love power. That's why Mike Tyson was the man. He was. You know, if Mike Tyson was pop shotting his way to points wins, do you think people would have been calling him the baddest man on the planet? I don't think so.
yeah, of course.
So,
I mean, he did something right. I mean, we're not completely shitting on Wilder, and it's actually pretty impressive what he did. I mean, and we've said this on this show.
Yeah.
We've said it.
Yeah. I mean, when you're putting him up there with Vladimir Klitschko and Joe Lewis for fucking title defense and stuff, I know he's not nowhere near that. But, you know, his name's amongst the conversation. I mean, it's amazing.
What
really.
conversation? What conversation?
It tells you well, when you're talking about title defenses, he's on the list. What is it, 9, 10 title defenses? That's fucking good going. But when you break it down, obviously.
Yeah, but Joe Louis had one. There was one. Okay, hold on. Revolution, first of all, Revolution in the chat saying, Bucho misread my comment. I said Chocolatito got done dirty. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that's what I said. Like, you said he was getting headbutt and all that shit. So, yeah, Chocolatito got done dirty, basically. So, yeah. What were you saying about Joe Louis? Listen, Wilder.
No,
yeah, go ahead.
No, like I said, I was just saying Wilder's done very good out of boxing for someone that's limited in skills. You know, so
Absolutely.
you got to give him his credit. Does he really want it anymore? Look at the money he's got. Does he really want it anymore? I mean, let's be real. His brother got knocked out twice last year as well. So, you know,
It's a family thing.
It's probably a thing where he's thinking, fucking hell, maybe we should call it a day before I get hurt.
Stu,
Because he's going to go in there one day with a massive punch and he's going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Because the shots that Tyson Fury was landing on him were clean. And if Tyson Fury had Joshua sort of power, you could be talking about a different sort of thing altogether. You could Wilder being seriously hurt. So look, maybe it's time for Wilder to have his last fight and say goodbye to the sport before he gets hurt. Because with them skills, especially when you're aging as well, he's not going to get any better. He's going to get worse, if anything. Look, he's going to come up against a big punch. And
Stu, does a beating like that make you rethink your life? What you want to do?
Hey, mate, you may laugh at it, right? But don't you think boxers think like that? Why do you think when a boxer hurts another fighter in the ring, is he ever the same guy? Like I said, unless you like Kovalev, who goes home, opens a can of beer and has a steak when he kills someone in the ring. But most fighters usually are never the same. Or when they put someone in a coma and paralyze them or something, they're never the same guys. Because it makes you think when you've got kids and stuff. I mean, how many kids has Wilder got? He's got a fucking busload of them. So yeah, of course, man. And when you've got a lot of money, do you really want to be killing yourself when you've got all that money, sort of things, or get yourself killed?
Even Sugar Ray Robinson was arguably the greatest of all time. After he killed that guy, Jimmy Doyle, he didn't want to box no more. He did it just because he wanted to, something to his kids and shit. He didn't want to eat. He didn't want to box no more. After he killed the guy. It was by mistake. I told the whole story before. He had a dream. The priest came and visited them and said, don't worry about it. He went in there and killed the guy anyway. Talk about superstition. And then,
you've like I said with Eubank and Ben. I mean, the day they fought McCullen and Watson was the days their careers were over. They were never the same fighters after. I used to see Eubank pulling his shots, fucking egging the referee to stop fighters when they weren't ready to be waved off. Just going the distance all the time, pop shotting his weight up, didn't even want to load up on his shots. Just a totally shot fighter in there. He really shouldn't have carried on fighting when you're like that. When you're fighting like that, he sort of lost his killer instinct. When you lose that, you're done. So, and Nigel Benn was never the same. I mean, he was getting pieced up left, right, and centre after that. So, yeah, it's a mental thing, isn't it? Boxing is all about the mind, man. I have to keep telling you that.
That's right. And it's all about the mind, and Wilder's mind might have been shattered on February the 22nd. By the way, Revolution, I sent you a link on Skype. All right. Anyways, guys, the phone lines are open. Call in if you want to chime in and let us know your thoughts on Wilder. And basically, Eddie Hearn saying that he has a feeling that Wilder will not will not take that third fight. So
Yeah.
Let me just say this real quick, Butch. Yeah, I'm not revolution either, but some of you guys, when you jump on here, you're fucking going through the mini mart. You got 6 kids screaming with you. You're trying to start the car and do 17 other odds and ends. Jump on here when you're situated, for fuck's sake. Yeah.
Good point.
You got Debo in the background asking for his money. Come on, man.
Sounds like a. You're not even in the riot, but it sounds like one when you jump on here.
Exactly. We have Recognize the Matrix. Recognize, are you there?
Yes, I'm running from the riot.
I can hear
1
the
second,
riot.
I'll come back when I'm all settled.
Did you get
Hey,
those?
Recognize he's going to drive his car for a fucking crowd, innit? That's what Recognize.
He's the one. Yo, I saw
If
this
it
cop go
means me or
flying.
them, I'll go right through them.
It's going to be Charlottesville all over again, innit, Recognize?
Oh yeah, they'll accuse me of everything. I'm like, I'm tan skinned. Can't you tell? Like, I got a little bit of everything.
It's at 15%.
White supremacist.
See, the thing with smart people is when you've got a bee in your body about something, the idea is not to smash your own fucking neighbourhood and your own stuff. It's like when my mates have an argument with their girlfriend, they smash their TV and their phones and stuff. I'm like, now you've calmed down, you feel a bit of a prick, don't you? Because you've got to go and spend £1,000 on a new TV. I said, why smash your own stuff? Do you know what I mean? And I just don't get it. They're ruining their own fucking neighbourhood sort of thing. I don't get it.
All right, people. The phone lines are open. Call in. And Revolucion, I sent you a link. I don't know what the hell you're doing because I opened StreamYard. Oh, there you are. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear us? All right, that guy's muted. Anyways, you can chime in whenever you're ready, Revolucion.
Revolution.
Recognize. So Eddie Hearn says that he has a feeling that Deontay Wilder will drop out of the fight. Does that mean? Do you think that he has inside information that we don't have, and maybe that's why he's saying this?
Yeah, I mean, it could be true. It could, maybe he knows something. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but Eddie Hearn is just a shit talker. Like, shut the fuck up, bro.
David Hayes.
That has nothing to do with you. Mind your fucking business.
That's your mouth,
David Hayes said straight after the second fight in the commentary, Deontay Wilder does not want no part of that again. He goes, mark my word.
It doesn't seem like he would want to go through that again unless he's thinking this is the end of the road for him, right? Like, let me get the last money and then
bounce.
Take a little ass whipping and bounce.
Yeah. I'm thinking too. I mean, if they throw some crazy amount of money at him, like that's how they suckered Duran into that fucking Ray Leonard rematch 2 months later and shit. That's they just threw some grotesque fucking number at him, and he was like, "Well, fuck it, all right." No, yeah, that's how they suckered Duran in for that fucking Leonard rematch. Yeah.
Well, like I said, that's definitely a cash out fight if he's taking the third.
Yeah, it sounds that way.
Yeah, I've been saying it all along. I think if he does go in there and get whooped for a third time, he's going to retire right after, bro.
I can't see him beating Fury. Not the way he lost, bro. The way he lost, man, he looks like he needs to go back to the drawing board and reinvent himself big time. And then he needs Fury to be crashing at the same time.
Recognize. I actually said before you came on, I think when you watch Joshua Andy Ruiz, you could see in that first fight that Joshua, he did enough to show us that he had ways he could win that fight, come back and win it. Do you know what I mean?
Correct.
People were picking Joshua to win that second fight. So people with Wilder, that just wasn't competitive for 1 second of that fight. So
exactly,
how do you convince yourself that he's going to pull it off?
Yeah, it looked like it just looks like that, that guy that goes in there and says, "I'm not fucking playing with you today. I'm gonna show you the difference between me and you."
Yeah,
and like you can't come, man. Fighting's such a mental game. It really is. You go in there, you ready. Some guy trashes you, not beats you. He crashes you.
Yeah,
it's like
So the thing is as well. Yeah, the thing is, the zero thing is quite a big thing in America. I've noticed it in Britain. They don't really care. I mean, You know, Chisora's a big name in the UK, and that guy's got about fucking 9 defeats. So, you know, I think with American, when you lose that 0, you sort of lose a bit of your aura, and sort of like people start switching off, and it's going to be hard for him to get a lot of people back on side because he got destroyed. You know,
if I'm not mistaken, Stu, when Joe Louis got beat up by Max Schmeling, they didn't fight right away, right? It was a couple of years later.
Oh, yeah, they fought a couple years down the line.
Yeah. I think that's part of. I think it was part of it. Part of that was mental for Joe Louis because if you look at that fight, he took an ass.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally. But the thing is, I think you got to have the sort of mentality of Dillian Whyte, where Dillian Whyte's already got that one loss out the way, and he's sort of like he doesn't care. He's sort of like he's just learning on the job. Every big fight he's in, he's going to give it his best. It's that sort of mentality. I think that's the mentality you got to have as a fighter, and then you'll get people on board. Like Dillian Whyte is very limited in talent himself, but he's exciting, and he's got a big fan base in the UK. I mean, he's a pay-per-view fighter in the UK.
I still say Joe Louis Schmeling 2 is the biggest fight of all time because you have to say it is because it's literally fucking America versus Nazi in World War II's going on. It's the biggest
but if
fight.
you speak to a lot of historians, they think that Schmeling threw that fight, don't they?
Yeah, well, that's Mark. It brought that to my attention one time, and I'll tell you this:
Precise Presenter did a video about it as well. I remember him doing. He's convinced.
Precise just hates everything American, so that doesn't count. But anyways,
but he brought up a good point.
I mean, let's be real. He'll never give an American credit ever. So. Yeah,
if somebody accuses that, I can understand somewhat, but he did bring up some good points about. Look, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't care. But I know that when he beat him, I for some reason I was under the impression that he had beat him like right away. They were like, no. He suffered, bro. Like that first fight, he wanted to take some time before he got back in there with Max Schmeling.
Yeah, that's
because it's a mental beatdown. When you get mentally fucked up, trust me, get fucked up by somebody. Let's see how quick you are.
I said exactly the same.
Let's see how quick you are to fight that person again when he's smiling at you and say, "You want to do it again?"
Yeah.
I said exactly the same. Recognize. It's just something that when a guy beats you, any sport, but especially in boxing, because obviously it's violence involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a mental thing they hold on you. I mean, it's just one end where every night you go to bed, you're thinking about that ass whooping you took, and that takes its toll on you. I don't care how brave you think you are or how confident you think you are. Every night you go to bed, you're thinking about that ass whooping. And that takes its toll on you just on itself, and that's what Wilder's going to be thinking. He's going to be having Rocky. He's going to be having Rocky Balboa nightmares. You know when Rocky was having nightmares about Clubber Lang?
Yeah.
You know, he's having flashbacks of Clubber Lang landing combos on him. That's what Wilder's going to be.
And even, and I'm going to say this real quick. If even if Schmeling did throw that second fight, it's not like Schmeling was some fucking bum either. That dude was a good fighter, man. Yeah, it's not like he was fucking Joe Blow. He ain't no Carlos Molina. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Joe Louis is top 3 heavyweight of all time for me.
Yeah,
top 1 in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah, he's up there, man. He's one of the greatest.
I got Lennox myself, but you know, people fucking kill me for that. But
no, I don't kill you for that. Lennox is badass. I don't
fuck Lennox Lewis.
That's
what Johnny Boy says.
He beat everybody. He beat everybody in his era.
You always shit on Lennox Lewis just to piss off.
I like to press people's buttons, bro. I talk shit about. Listen, bro. That's my pedigree. I talk shit about Chavez to the Mexicans. I talk shit about Lennox to the Brits. I talk shit about Floyd to the black guys. I like pushing people's buttons.
Agent provocateur. Guys, let me just remind everybody that Trivia TKO will be back. Revolucion and Mark are helping out with the show, with questions and everything. And so the first match that we're going to be bringing you,
face again.
Recognize the Matrix. The reigning Trivia TKO champion will defend his title finally because people are getting angry and pissed off that why is he the champ. It's true. They're like, but we are like the WBC. We make the rules as we go along. So Matrix is still the champion, but he will be defending his title against Del Boy from Blue.
I was wondering why I was getting a lot of likes.
He's going to be like Adonis Stevenson. He's going to hold that belt hostage for fucking years.
It's true. The chat kind of turned on me ever since I kind of won the bell, and then like I take this long layoff. They're like,
Yeah.
calling me the paper champ.
I heard you had a Tyson Fury breakdown and start getting on the coke and stuff. Reckon I.
Exactly what's happening, bro.
Yeah, what up, guys?
What's up,
The pressure.
Mark?
Oh, what are we saying, Mark? You're right, bro. The pressures of being a champ, I recognise. Not everyone can cope with it, eh? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's a lot of fame that comes with it, you know. So I know I couldn't deal with it, man.
Oh, guys, by the way, we're looking for people for the undercard for that main. So our main event is recognized against Del Boy or Blue Collar Sports TV, but we need an undercard, and Johnny Boy is ready to debate. Debate.
Oh, I'm going up against Del Boy. That's nice, man.
And Johnny Boy in the undercard. So yeah.
Johnny's had more fights than Archie fucking Moore, isn't he? How many times?
Johnny Boy's the Archie Moore of the BDA.
Nah, man. Nah.
Which is not
Archie
bad.
Moore had a lot of
like
wins.
300 fights. How many fights did Archie Moore have, Mark?
200 plus.
Shit.
200 plus. He had 160 knockouts, I think.
132 knockouts.
132. I knew something like that. I still fucking love it.
He had 219 fights, I think. 132 knockouts, 186 wins, 132 coming by way of knockout.
Can you imagine, like, you can actually say, I knocked out 130 people. It must be a nice reputation.
Yeah, but just imagine saying you've had 130 fights full stop in this era.
Yeah, before you even go there, yep.
Yeah, god damn. Can you imagine, you know the fighters moan about their hands these days. Can you imagine the hand injuries them guys were fighting with?
Yeah, I'm sure, man. I'm sure that they broke their hands all the time.
Those gloves
breaking
as well.
breaking your hands could really fuck you up, man. You know, people don't.
Yeah,
people,
hey, mate,
people...
I broke my hand badly. And I've never been the same since. I've got all pins and wires in it. I have to get my daughter to open crisps and chocolate bars and stuff for me. I can't twist any sort of action in it. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I get in a fight. I'm gonna have to do what Lomachenko did when he broke his arm, innit? Fight with one arm and just fucking use the skills.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Use the footwork. Use the footwork and the angles, innit? Recognise.
John Gonzalez, thank you for your contribution. He says, I'll be a cherry pick for whoever, Bucho. So he wants to be in the undercard. So we have Johnny Boy already in the undercard. So maybe we can set that match up.
John Gonzalez is the Dave Allen of the BDA.
I just said in the chat, yeah, that's a good one. Let me and John have at it. The battle for John.
Don't underestimate your opponents, Johnny.
Johnny Boy's looking for a confidence booster, is he? He's looking for an easy.
I need some heavy sparring real quick.
Yeah,
Johnny, if you lose
the Rod Solker.
If Johnny loses, he's 0-3. If Johnny loses, he's 0-3.
If I'm Arturo, this is my Joe Gamici fight. You understand?
Yeah. Don't underestimate your opponents, Johnny.
I'm just breaking your balls, John.
Oh, mate. It's all good. Johnny, mate, the amount of fights you've had, you deserve a fucking easy night's work. But over John Gonzalez, he's Mexican, he's got good chin. He might land one on the button, you never know.
Yeah, good stamina.
Yeah, sure, right? He might get lucky.
Not likely. Not Mark.
He don't want to be fighting Mark.
I'm not taking part. I'm writing questions.
Yeah,
I don't even think that fight wouldn't get sanctioned. I don't think.
I'm writing a fuck ton of questions.
Mark is like a
your
cutie right now.
You fucking your questions.
No, Stu. This isn't like just all like old school shit. Like Bucho gave me a time period I couldn't go past, so I've not gone into the 1920s or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a good.
And to even it up, because last time I think there was one question that came from a fighter about the UK. I've thrown in some questions about fighters from the UK.
Yeah. It's a good pick. I mean, getting you on board to do the questions is probably the best guy for.
Yeah.
for the job. So yeah, it's a good decision by Butcho.
Well, he wanted to. I wanted him to be in a contestant, but he didn't want to. So he said he would help out. So I said, if you want to, go ahead. We appreciate your effort. Yeah.
That's all right, Johnny boy. I ain't worth the fuck either. We'll both beat the shit out of each other in the trivia and whatever. I ain't worth the fuck neither. So don't worry about it.
I remember Mark told me in private, listen, I don't really want to participate in this trivia TKO. I said, why? He said, because I'll destroy you. That was kind of awkward.
Jeez.
Don't make
I
it
will
sound
break
like that.
you.
I didn't say it like that.
No, I'm just saying it was kind of awkward, bro.
Didn't he end that with
your face?
Didn't he end that sentence with motherfucker?
I'm gonna destroy you.
Wow.
1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? 1 2 1 2.
Yes, sir.
Oh, your mic's fucked up, Revolution.
My audio is all fucked up. Literally, I'm just gonna say this because you're talking about trivia TKO, and then I'm gonna jump off.
Thank God.
On the undercard, Johnny Boy versus John Gonzalez. I say the winner of that match becomes the official Johnny Boy, and the loser has to go by John. Johnny, this is your third chance. If you can't pull it off now, you lose your identity, you lose your nickname, and we get a new Johnny Boy.
There's an issue.
I'll find a new Johnny.
Hold on. We got an issue with that, bro, because there's already a John Boxing. So I can't be. The name doesn't change.
No, you're just going to be John. You're going to be plain old John.
John Smith.
You're going to be John
like
Doe. You go. You won't.
John
you
Doe.
won't
Yeah.
be John Doe.
I used to be John Doe. I changed it. Remember?
Yeah, when you ran out of dough.
Hey, if you lose Johnny, you're gonna have to be called Johnny Sawyer Boy.
Johnny Zero. His mother. Johnny Zero. His mother.
Johnny
said he was
Zero.
never a mother, nothing.
What about Johnny Alter? Johnny Alter boy.
How about John John? You ever met a person named John John?
John
He's a dick.
Yeah.
Melina.
Yeah.
Never trust a man that names himself twice.
Except for Safari.
I knew a John when I was young, and he fucking got hooked on dope and stole from my father. So, see
The
where that
weirdest
went.
thing is I knew a Tom Tom. That was the weirdest.
Yeah,
I
that's-
call you Tom Tom.
Tom-toms are the drums you play in marching band.
Yeah, this guy was. Everybody used to call him Tom Tom. I said that's weird, man. You'll never hear
right.
nobody say Frank.
Did you kill him after he stole from your father, Revolution?
I haven't seen him.
I bet Revolution used to. I bet he used to. Revolution, the sort of guy that used to steal his dad's alcohol and shit. He just looks that sort of guy.
Oh my god! Of course. Once Stu says something about me, my audio starts breaking up again. I can't even make this shit up. I can't even make it up.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go back, work
It's
out why
hopeless.
your audio
I
shit.
can't. I can't hear shit, guys. I'm officially off. Ignore me for the rest of the show. I'm done. I'm just listening now. Have a good show. I'm gonna fix
All right,
this so
shut
I
up.
can host the trivia.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Calm down.
Don't call us. We'll call you. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't call us. We'll call
And
you.
by the way, I want one recommendation for this match between me and John Gonzalez. Either Bucho or Mark picks the questions because I don't trust that fuck.
What do you mean pick the? No, you. Oh, hold on. You pick the questions. I listened to the show.
Johnny Boy's been moaning about Canelo for years, and now he's doing the Canelo.
Yeah, listen, Johnny Boy. Remember when you
Johnny? The conspiracy between me and Johnny is that it's that fucking Revolution set him up.
No. That was, hold on. First of all, that was the practice match. That was when we were just trying it out to see how we were gonna do it and all that other shit. So that
He was fucking up.
Yeah,
though.
to be fair on that one, Revolution was asking what fucking color shorts fighters had on.
Yeah, come on.
But
Yeah.
in fairness, I had no fucking idea. Johnny got one of those right. So I know it was a hard fucking question, but JB did get that. I don't know which one, but he got a fight right. He called it. I was like, nah, no way. And he got it right. I don't know what color body wore in 1920, but yeah.
Well, let's relive that moment. All right.
Picking the questions.
All right, here we go. Here's the rules for Trivia TKO. All right,
hold on.
Left, coming to
Is
you
he back
from
again?
defeat.
No, I'm replaying. I'm gonna show you that you guys chose
fuck me,
Prison
don't
for what
do that.
crime?
Oh, don't play that again.
No, I just want to show you the moment, the moment where you guys chose a question.
Level.
Anyways, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. At some point, Revolution asked you guys, like, you have like 6 patches. What's the word? Anyways, you guys chose the questions. Basically, he gave you a 6 numbers. You guys chose a number, and then that's
You on about categories?
batch,
Yeah,
a
you
batch.
pick a
Sorry,
category.
a batch of questions. No, there was 6 batches with questions, and so he gave you
Oh, I get what you say. So you pick 1, 2, or 3, and then you pick which questions are in there. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, it was random in a way. So
Yeah, I know what you mean. Look, no, I think it's going to be right. I'm not.
That shit was ridiculous, bro. It was like, what color was Bert Sugar's fedora the night of 1957 when fucking Basilio fought Ray? Like, how the fuck do I know? Fuck.
It was brown because he only ever wore a brown fedora.
What happened to Evander Holyfield's ear after it was bit off against Mike Tyson? That's the sort of questions he was asking.
Merit on the merit of 1960s photography.
this was the blue or green, remember? And it looks blue to me, but then again,
yeah. One question you couldn't even fucking agree what color it was. I mean,
Okay, now go to Google.
It was like the dress all over again.
No. Hold on. Go to Google Images, pull up that same picture, and tell me them ain't green.
All right, hold on.
You were right.
What was about with the David Diamante fucking intro by Revolution as well? What was that all about?
And welcome to Trivia TKO.
Yeah, I feel like he was trying to audition for like a
in your red corner.
Wait, was it for the first or the second
Get
Ellie
on with
Fraser
it, you-
fight? The first. Wait. Which fight was it? The second, first, or third?
Yeah, I don't know. Forgot.
That was like a year and a half ago, Booch.
Oh God. Okay, let me.
Is that how long ago? That's not a year and a half ago since that.
Thriller in Manila.
September
Jesus,
16th.
you mean to tell me I've been holding the title hostage for like a year and a half?
It was dark
green.
No, it's not a year and a half. It's not a year.
Every time a young lion calls out, recognise he retires, doesn't he?
The guy. Wait a second. Whoa, Stu. You're my promoter. What's going on here, man?
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Stu, you're
Fucking
throwing,
Shelley.
Stu's throwing me under the bus.
You got a Shelley Finkel promoter. You have, man.
Wait a second. Stu is my promoter. He's so
Oh yeah,
tired.
no. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm your promoter. Sorry,
You're so tired
I
of me.
forgot. You haven't rang me. You've not asked for any fights. You know, you got to tell me what you want, man. You know, I mean, look, you just keep walking around Puerto Rico with that belt around your waist, and you'll find any woman.
Proudly present
The girls.
Sorry.
The girls out here like it. Stu.
Like I said, you've never heard Donnie Stevenson, isn't it? You.
All right. By the way,
I'm a
John
real
Gonzalez.
somebody.
I want to thank John Gonzalez in the chat for his contribution, and he says, "I want my shot at the bootlegger when I win." The bootlegger, I think, is recognized. Yep.
John Gonzalez. He's looking to have his Andy Ruiz night, isn't he?
Exactly.
I'm gonna,
Hey,
I'm
Johnny
gonna
Boy.
stick and move. If you somehow get by Johnny Boy, I'm not gonna sleep on you. I'm gonna stick and move. I'm just gonna stick. Keep it moving. Jab.
What's happened to Cameron these days?
Oh, he had
Had
a
a
baby.
kid.
Yeah, Cameron had a baby. I mean,
Oh, he had one, did he? What did he have? A
didn't
boy
give
or
birth-
girl?
He didn't give birth. You know,
Boy,
his,
baby boy.
Oh, so there's another little Cameron on the earth. Congratulations, Cameron, if you're listening. I don't know what's happened to you. I'd seen you for ages.
I think I hit him with a congratulation. Yeah, I did on his Twitter. His Twitter.
Where's Johnny Boy?
His Twitter.
Yeah. Hope you're standing your ground, Cameron. You better not be the one that's getting up in the middle of the night and feed the baby.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard, Stu. He's the one that's
Yeah, I can imagine it, innit? She sleeps while Cameron's up in the kitchen, heating the bottles up.
Stu, he's getting up and breastfeeding the baby.
Yeah. He's the one that pushes the pram, innit? He's the one that pushes the pram when they go walking.
Things are fucking green, Bucho.
That's green, man. I think what's the When you see
Are
colors,
you still arguing
what's the
about the
word?
color of those
Yeah,
fucking
but whatever
shorts?
color it was, he got it right.
Colorblind.
I don't remember what color it was. I don't know how the fuck he got it right though. Anyway, that's just insane. Because you tell me somebody what some man wore in 19 whatever. I'm like, I don't remember. I can't remember something
Do you
like
remember stealing those DVDs? No.
that. That
So-
was I did, but I didn't. I borrowed them. I didn't steal them.
Those are blue, says boxing virus. Oh, we're gonna get into it again. Anyways, it is what it is.
Yeah.
No more questions like that. It's gonna be fine, people. All right.
Hey, bring it, Del Boy. Del Boy's talking shit on the
Yeah,
on
he's
the
talking shit.
Yeah, he's coming after me. He's like, yeah.
Don't worry.
Smash
I'll
it.
come with good questions. I'll come with good, very clean questions.
All right.
And then
That was-
Revolution gives recognized 10 Floyd Mayweather questions in a row. And what color fucking Bert Sugar's fucking hat was and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Johnny Boy's not
All
letting
right,
this
Johnny,
go. He's not letting
Johnny.
this go.
Let's give them a teaser. You ready?
Yeah, don't ask me no question of 1905.
Johnny? This is just for Johnny. Johnny. Who did Floyd Mayweather beat to pick up his first world title?
Earl Hernandez.
There you go. You ask him a question about Floyd, he knows the answer.
No, I almost forgot it was Gennaro Hernandez. Off the top of my head, seriously,
Yeah.
I almost forgot. Like just for a quick second, I forgot.
I don't think I'd have got that one right. I forgot about that.
Well, I think he paid for his funeral too, since Floyd's such a saint these days, apparently. You know, but
No, he ain't paid for Gennaro, did he? He paid
Yeah, I
for
think so.
Oh yeah, he might have. You're right, man. Shit.
Floyd's the sort of guy that'll pay for a funeral but have a picture taken signing the check over. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's a good gesture, but I think he does it like for a photo op.
Yeah.
Like,
He
don't
does it.
forget
Yeah,
that.
he does it. He does it to
Put a
feed his
video
own
about
ego.
that this morning, or
All
I
his-
put a
all his
video
little
about that
fucking
this morning, bro.
followers.
It's just Floyd Mayweather saying, "Hey, look at me. I'm a good guy, bro. Don't you guys respect me now, man?" Yeah, that's what Floyd. That's all it is. I'm not such a piece of shit after all, am I, guys?
Some Floyd fans make too much of a big deal of him beating Gennaro Hernandez. It's like, dude, Gennaro Hernandez like biggest claim to fame was like beating an old Azuma Nelson.
Exactly.
I mean, it was a good win. Don't get me wrong, but like, calm down. It's not the best win ever.
Tyrese Bowie in the chat, I think his name is. Thanks for the contribution. He says, no, not the most baddest man on the planet. I don't know who he's talking about because I've not been reading the chats.
Tyrese Bowie.
To
Like
be fair,
Baba
though,
Tyrese Bowie.
Like Baba Booey, like that.
Frank, to be fair, he did knock out Jorge Poyas, which is a good win.
Hernandez, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right, man.
Poyas is a good win. Jimmy Garcia solid. Jorge Ramirez all right. Raul Perez all right. He had some good wins. Not an amazing
Floyd
player,
at
but solid.
Floyd at Super Feather was.
Yeah, he was a little bit above most guys that have ever fought at 130. He might have beaten Alexis Arguello at 130. What do you think about that?
I remember watching Floyd. I remember watching Floyd as a super featherweight on Sky. I used to stay up to watch him fight, and even then, the Sky pundits were saying it's pound for pound number one.
He was fighting like that, man.
They were calling him that though. They were calling him that. I didn't think he was.
Yeah,
They were
because
calling
remember Roy Jones was around at that time, and he was like kind
Yeah.
of recognized as the pound for pound best fighter. This is before Roy even got knocked out. Way before. Yeah, so I see what you're saying.
I remember watching that fight that Floyd, that Roy got disqualified in. It was a bit of a fucking.
Montel Griffin.
It was a bit of a low blow, and you know what I mean. The guy was on his knee. And he
Yeah,
sparked him with a big shot as well. It was a big shot.
I think also Montel sold it. You know, like
Yeah.
but-
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He thought this is my way out of an ass whooping.
Because actually, if you look at that fight, man, he was giving Roy some problems, and some would even tell you he might have been up on the scorecards. But
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, that I don't know about. Remember, because he knocked him down. Roy did knock him down, and so he was hitting him with the biggest shot. But the fight was close for sure. And then Roy catches him. It looks like Roy figured him out right in that ninth round, and he said, "Let me take the easy way out."
I remember at the time, recognised I was disgusted by it. I was like, "Oh, fucking Roy got robbed." But now I watched it back. I watched it back the other day, and I thought, yeah, maybe they're the point. It was a bit fucking, was a bit late, wasn't it?
And you want to know something too, Stu? If you look at the first fight, and if you look at right before Roy got disqualified, he's catching Montel Griffin with the same punches that knocked him out in the second fight. It's like, yo, I got your number now. I know how to hit you. You're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
that's what great fighters do. That's what great fighters do, though. You recognise they adjust on the
figure
job.
out. Yeah. Yep.
They adjust on the job. Yeah.
I wanted to read a comment from Tyrese Bowie. He says, "No, not the most baddest man on the planet." I don't know what you guys were talking about because I went to the bathroom.
I've already read it. I've already read
okay. Thank you, Tyrese.
Yeah,
Tyrese.
I don't know who he was talking about. I don't know because I wasn't reading the chat.
He might have been arguing with somebody in the chat about who's the baddest man on the planet.
Oddly Harrison.
Yes.
For sure.
He is. He's literally bad. Like, very bad.
Oh, okay. I get it. All right. Mark, did we get your thoughts? Mark, did we get your thoughts on Eddie Hearn saying that he has a feeling that Wilder's going to drop out from that third Fury fight?
Wilder's not going to drop out. He's going to take the fight.
Okay.
I'll trust Bob on this situation more because Bob is saying the fight's happening. Bob's directly involved in the negotiations, and Eddie isn't. So I'll trust Bob.
Good point.
Yeah, I think Eddie Hearn is just like, shut the fuck up already, Eddie Hearn. Like,
yeah, but just keeping him and Joshua in the name frame of the fight.
Yeah, Bob can't force Wilder to fight. And that my thing is, I think Wilder doesn't want it. I think if someone comes along with a step aside fee, he's snapping.
Yeah, but Bob said they're not doing that, and so did Fury.
Yeah, I know, but I think if Josh was waved in front of them, they could get Wilder to take 2 or 3 million. They'll do it.
Fury heard the 10 million. He said 10 million. Get that.
Yeah, well, 10 million is ridiculous. And look, Wilder take 2 or 3. I tell you, it's 2 or 3 million is a lot of money to be sitting at home doing nothing.
That is true, especially you haven't had a payday since the February fight. So.
And look, that's like him as well, getting paid to stay in camp and work on a few things because that's what he needs to do. I think it's perfect for him. It gives him a bit more time to get.
Let me ask you guys something.
Terrible defeat.
Let me ask you guys something. Do you think he can change his way of boxing in this short amount of time?
Well, okay, let's break that down because how much of a change are we speaking? Like maybe develop a jab and
okay, I don't think physically in the fight. Excuse me, he needs to change like a lot, but the way he does things, that's a mindset, bro. Boxing doesn't come second nature to him. The way he moves, don't. The way he punches, the 1-2, yeah. I mean, those are easy.
That's
things
basic
to make
shit.
Yeah.
He should learn to set up that right hand because he obviously that's his only hope. So maybe work on like 2 ways to set up that right hand and then hope for the best. That's all he can do, I think.
He's too jittery, though. He's too jittery.
What he needs to do is get used to like when he at certain parts of the when he's moving around, he starts spreading his legs too wide and staying that way. That tells me his stance. Excuse me. He starts spreading his stance a little too wide and stays that way. Even when he's getting hit, you can see him almost like stutter stepping, using his front foot to lead him going back. Let me finish this point real quick. That's if he can correct that, I think he'll be fine.
Well, he's got to be stopped being. Yeah,
fine.
He's got to be stopped being so jitterish as well. Listen, the guy, he reacts to feints too much.
Yeah, he's jittery.
He's very jittery. Yeah, look, he needs to try and keep in shape. I keep preaching that. The guy just loses shape when he's under pressure, and that's when he starts throwing shots out of range. His feet are in the wrong places. You know, his chin's in the air. He's square on. He's just a mess to look at, isn't he? I mean, when Wilder loses his shape, he's just terrible to watch.
Terrible.
I mean, even if it means fighting a bit like Frank Bruno sort of thing, fighting with a high guard, just using the jab and the right hand sort of thing. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but he can't be going in there fighting like he did against Tyson Fury again. It's not going to work.
All right, D, are you there? You can jump in if you want.
What's up, fellas? Yeah, man. Tyson Fury is going. I don't care how it comes. The best thing Wilder could do is take that money, because if he don't, he just gonna get his ass beat again and embarrassed. So I would just take the money and demand a rematch. Put it in writing, of course, and take that money and quit boxing. That's what he should do. That's the best thing for him.
Yeah, I think
he's probably right, man.
That's what we will do, man. I think he's mentally shot. Like I said, you lose I think Joshua's not far away from retiring as well. I think Joshua could be one bad defeat away from retiring. I think when you make that so much money, I just think he's lost the love for the sport. I think he's fighting for money now.
Hey, Stu, who gives Joshua that bad beating? Because if Fury beat him, it'll be a long, boring fight. He won't punish him that much. He'll just beat him on points, right?
I don't know, though, man. I don't know. Joshua freezes as well. I mean, Joshua's easy to hit. Andy Ruiz was tagging him up all night. The only reason Ruiz didn't hit him in the second fight, because look at the fucking shape the guy was. You know, so look. Yeah, that is a fact. So, look, Joshua's still he fights nervous for me now anyway. And I think he could be on the end of a good beating from Tyson. I think there's a lot of fights. It depends if Joshua turns up and has a bad night, has another fucking panic attack or whatever he had in the first fight. He could lose to anyone in that sort of condition. But look, I still think he's one big fight away or one defeat away from retiring. I don't think he's going to be boxing for long. And I say that with Wilder as well.
You know, Wilder really needs a tune-up fight, I believe, to get his confidence back, to get maybe even fans who doubt him to maybe, because a knockout is very impressionable, and that's a highlight reel, and that's what he needs, another highlight reel to make some fools believe that he actually has a chance against Fury. Because let's be honest, man, this fight really broke him down mentally. And it's so funny because AJ, 2 fights with Andy Ruiz, and he came out of those 2 fights stronger. Not only strong, mentally strong. Mentally strong. Yeah. It's fucking important.
Yeah. And the same with Dillian White as well. Dillian White coped with that defeat against Joshua quite well and learned from it. Look, let's be real, it was a terrible defeat. He was fucking hanging over the ropes, weren't he? Out cold. So it was a bad defeat. And he was a meme for a while. I remember watching. Well, I didn't really go on Twitter much, but at the time I was going, on it for a bit, and I was seeing all the memes about Dillian White. He got a bit of stick for that, didn't he? So for him to bounce back like he did shows that he's a mentally strong guy, and he's in a great position now, number 1 in most sanctions. So look, you can bounce back, but with Wilder, I think it's just a different sort of guy. It's mentally, I don't think he's a Dillian White mentally. Wilder, I think he's fragile mentally, and I think that defeat against Tyson Fury was what's finished it.
Mr. BDA, Mr. Two Hands said, "What's up?"
Bucho.
What's up for you? Bucho. It's Bucho.
Bucho.
Oh, yeah, Bucho.
Bucho.
Well, he said, "What's up?" to both of y'all, you and Mr. BDA.
Yeah.
So.
It's a mic, the compressor, I think. But yeah, what's up? Welcome, man. I was gonna say something on Wilder. I lost my train of thought. Damn it! All right, people, the phone lines are open. Don't be shy. Oh, we have a phone call. 954. You're on the air. 954.
Hey, I thought I'd call back in. I was going to rewind back to the Roy Jones Montel Griffin, but the gentleman that was just on talked about there's some key stuff about Wilder and Fury and everything. I do believe one of the gentlemen, and I'm still learning all y'all's names, but one of them actually said that they think that AJ is a mentally stronger fighter than Wilder, and the proof's in the pudding of what happened the last time. The kind of knockout that he got, most fighters don't come back from. They don't put themselves back together. They don't get a win. They get punch shy. And the second a fight gets tough, if they can't control it, they cave. Let's face it, no matter how tough you think you are, we're human beings. We're imperfect, and a lot of times we reach a breaking point. Any of us. Joshua did not reach that in that fight, and he had every reason to. And we have not seen if Wilder can do the same thing, but it's not likely, seeing the fact that he should have lost the first fight. As far as who wins against Fury and Joshua, if I made my comments earlier about Fury, the reservation, if he keeps his mind straight, he will be up for that fight. If there's a fight that's going to focus him and get him ready to be the best he can ever possibly be, that would be it.
Yeah, I agree.
In this case,
good call.
As much as I like Joshua, go ahead.
No, I just said a good call. I agree with everything you said. Everything.
Yeah. You see, a motivated Tyson Fury is really. I mean, look.
We've seen what happens.
Careful to give him too much credit. I'm careful to give him too much credit against Wilder, even though obviously you have to, because Wilder's a very flawed fighter. There was a lot, bro. He was a lot of the great things that Fury did to Wilder's because Wilder didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, but what the call is saying,
recognise.
What the call is saying is Tyson Fury's one of them fighters. I've been saying it on here for a long time now.
Oh
Tyson Fury, he's as good. Tyson Fury is as good as the opponent in front of him. The more dangerous the guy is, you'll see the best of Tyson Fury. When people are saying, "Oh, well, you shit against this guy, you shit against that guy," you don't ever look at Tyson Fury's previous performances and take anything into that, because he can turn up on the night. Yeah, it means nothing. It's the same with Billy Joe Saunders, that sort of guy, and Callum Smith, them sort of guys. Do you know what I mean? They're like that. You can never go by their last performance, because if they turn up on song, they could beat anyone.
B-Hop's just like that.
Yeah, that's my point.
What people need to focus on with Tyson Fury is the significance of how he came onto the scene. He doesn't beat Vladimir Klitschko. Klitschko breaks Joe Louis's record of holding the title and title defenses because he could pick who he wanted to fight. And Tyson Fury stopped something that was landmark. Now, quality of competition and everything else out the window. Numbers are like that are hard to achieve in any weight class in any era of boxing. And Klitschko was creeping up on breaking all-time history. And Tyson Fury stopped that dead on. And that needs to be noted. People overlook that a lot.
Yeah. Another good point. Another good point. Look, that Klitschko, that Fury beat was a lot better than the one that Joshua beat. You have to be real. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Fury's the heartbreaker. He broke the Klitschko's fans' heart, but they were man enough to take it. Then he broke the very sensitive Wilder fans' hearts, and they still haven't recovered. That's what he does.
I mean, the thing with Fury, I just think, like I said, the more dangerous the guy in front of him, the better he will be on the night. And I think that's just where we are with him. I think, like I said, you could stick an average fighter in there, and he could stink the joint out. I've seen it time and time again. I've watched Fury fights where he just stunk the fucking joint out. I'm like, no,
the worst person you want to see that you're about to fight for a milestone, some type of like relevant milestone, is Tyson Fury.
Yeah, it is.
That's how you want to see it.
Yeah.
You do not want to. Yeah, you do not want to be putting your fighters in there with Fury to break records, do you?
Nope.
Do you know what I mean? So
Which
he's
is
just
why
he's
I
just a
think
horrible,
against
star
Joshua would be
for
bad
anyone.
That's why I think that Josh would be bad, because that would be a significant fight in England, would it not? That you could argue and almost say that would be the best British heavyweight of all time. Someone could make that argument whether you agree with it or not. And
it would be.
That
it would be.
Rise Fury's game up.
That'd be the biggest. I think that's what Fury needs. I think Fury needs that in his legacy to be classed as an all-time great. I really do. I just think he needs that Joshua win in a Wembley Stadium in dominant fashion. I mean, it just seals his legacy for me. I just think he's that one big win short. He's done some great things, but when you look at that resume, it's just not enough there for me. I need to see a Dillian White and a Joshua on there. I need to see them sort of guys, or a fucking, well, anyone. There's not a lot of guys there, is there, to talk about, but I need to see some bigger names.
Anything else?
So, if I may go back, well, you guys were hitting on, when I tried to call in, you were talking about Roy Jones and Montel Griffin.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind rewinding back to that for a second.
Go ahead.
If you need to move on, then that's fine.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so everybody was saying, I looked up the scores. Montel was only ahead on one card. Jones was ahead on 1 point on one card and 2 points on another, and largely because of knockdowns. But there was something involved in that fight that I think in the first fight people overlooked. Eddie Futch was still an active trainer at the time, and Eddie Futch was Montel Griffin's trainer for that fight. He was not the trainer for the second fight, and it may not have made a difference. But the reason why I think it gave Jones so much trouble in the first fight was, who did Eddie Futch train? Ken Norton, Joe Frazier. Two limited guys, tough, powerful, but limited guys that gave the greatest heavyweight of all time by most people's standards, Muhammad Ali, everything he could handle in 6 fights. He kind of knew how to work with unorthodox styles like that. And he had a perfect game plan. Montel Griffin carried it out the best that he possibly could. And it gave Roy Jones fits. Roy Jones adjusted in the rematch, and we saw what happened.
All right.
I just timed a guy out for coming on saying stop my white bias. So I've just, if you want to know why I've timed someone out, because
all right.
He's saying that
well, Colin, that's a good point, man. Great point. I don't want to talk about that fight anymore. I agree 100% what you had to say. Anybody else? Somebody disagrees with the caller?
No, I mean, look, it was a good fight. Roy got his revenge. I think the thing is, at the time, that defeat, like I said, it means a lot. It means a bit more in America than in the UK, I think, when he lost that 0. You know, I think Roy, he's sort of like, didn't give a fuck after. That's how it seems to me. I just don't think Roy
kind of didn't give a fuck after that win.
No, that when he had that 0 take, you know, when he got that defeat, when he had his 0 take, and he just,
oh yeah. Okay.
He sort of, he had an attitude where he just didn't give a fuck. Then I just thought,
good point.
Probably wanted to.
He kind of picked his opponents after that. Anyway, that was
that was my point.
I know other people got to call in, so thank you for your time.
Thanks for calling in, man. Take care. Good call. I like this caller.
Never good call. Get some good calls, man.
Yep.
It's nice to be on here and have some good calls instead of people ranting and raving about nothing.
I didn't get H-Money to call in today.
H-Money?
Yeah, he didn't call in today?
No, unfortunately, he hasn't called yet. I'm still waiting for that call.
Johnny Boy's a racist. Is that what he's still
Johnny
saying?
Boy's a racist. Mr. The Zone.
No.
Somebody, you timed out somebody in the chats too that said Klitschko versus Fury is such a horrible fight. Stop your white bias.
No, I didn't call him for that. I timed him up saying stop your white bias. Because I said that about Fury and Joshua, so look.
But I agree with him. Klitschko Fury was a horrible fight. That was one of the worst fights.
I'm not timing him out for that.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Yeah. But we know you have white bias too.
I've got eyes. They fucking work. It was a dreadful fight. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it was a barnstormer, but
historic fight.
You know, it was. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's one of them where you just do what you got to do to get the win. And he did boxing a favour. Let's be real, because Klitschko was putting the boxing world to sleep, weren't he? Let's be real at the time.
Absolutely. All right. Well, so I reckon it's dropped. He might come back, I guess. D. What do you think about Eddie Hearn saying that he has a feeling that Wilder will drop out of the third fight?
Man, I don't know about Wilder dropping out of this third fight, bro. It's possible, just like I think Stu said, he might be looking for a payday, maybe, but I can't really see him dropping out of this third fight. Too much pride, to tell you the truth, too much stupidity to be honest, bro. Wilder's not smart enough. drop out of this third fight. He should implement some new techniques, and it'll take him a couple of fights to implement that, because you don't get new techniques and try them out against Tyson Fury. You're just gonna get your ass whooped anyway, because now you're trying something that you're not really sure of.
Exactly.
Even if you teach him something, it's going to take him a couple of fights. I don't think he's going to back out of the fight.
And it's hard to train for Tyson Fury because he's so unorthodox. He don't even know what he's going to. He don't even know what he's going to do on the night. So, look, it's not one of their way. He's the sort of guy you don't need to be preparing for. You need to be ready for, and that's the be ready. Need to do a couple of fights.
You said you weren't interested in a third fight, especially not buying it.
Not really.
What
Not
if
really.
they stuff it with a nice, juicy undercard?
Like what though?
I don't know. Who do they have over there? It's a
Well, look,
PBC.
if they stick,
ESPN.
if they stick say, I don't know, if they stick like I don't know, man, like a
Tank
Teofimo
Davis.
Lomachenko on there.
That would have to be a co-main event, though.
Yeah,
I don't mind a co-main event with that. Yeah, that's fine. But
And then put the course.
it's gonna have to be a good undercard.
Yep, Shakur
Don't
Steven.
think like Bob tries to get away with putting on shit undercards a lot of the time, where it's just one main event you're paying for. But I just don't think you might.
Guys, y'all know, I don't get my ass whooped. Y'all know, Josh Warrington is taking on a fight. And, Shakur Stevenson is going to be taking on a little fight, but these two guys are going to meet up. That would be cool on the undercard as well, to put Josh.
Well, I'd like to see Shakur fight Josh Warrington on the undercard if that fight could. That's a fight I'd be happy for. That'd be one I'd probably buy. Definitely. I mean, look, I don't know what the price is going to be in the UK. Probably about $25. I'll probably buy it, but I'm not too keen to see it. If you get what I'm saying, I'm not really bothered. I mean, the thought of seeing it doesn't really whet the appetite at all.
Absolutely. I think D's playing some video games or something.
Yeah, oh my bad. I made the.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see that fight, and I don't care if currently there hasn't been any boxing. I still don't give a shit about that fight. That's just my opinion, guys. Listen, if you're excited about it, if you think that Wilder still has a chance of landing that right hand, then that's fine. That's fine. I mean, hoping. Never give up hope,
Look,
people, but I have given
a
up
punch
hope.
always has a chance. A punch always has a chance. That's why whenever there's a puncher in there, you're always on the edge of your seat, aren't you? Because even when Wilder's fighting, you're constantly on the edge of your seat because you know at any time someone could be sleeping. But look, it's just when mentally whether he's going to be ready, and I don't think he is. I mean, look that video he did after the defeat, bizarre, wasn't it? Mind's
Just
gone.
didn't look right.
He's lost it.
Didn't look right.
He's lost his mind.
He has.
Someone in the chat, Scott Brown says Gary Russell Jr. versus Shakur. Yeah, I like that fight as well. I'd watch that.
Yeah,
definitely a fight I'd want. I want to see some fresh fights. I don't want to see all these fucking recycled fights. I don't. I've had enough. I want some fresh names.
You don't want to
Like I
see
said,
Leo
I'd rather
Santa
see-
Cruz
I'd
against
rather
Abner
see-
Maris?
Abner Maris v Leo Santa Cruz. I don't watch any Santa Cruz.
Yeah, I forgot about
I don't
that
need to be.
guy.
I don't need to be staying at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch Santa Cruz. I mean,
Such a disappointment. Wasted talent, I should say.
yeah,
It
good
seems
fighter,
like
but just
yeah.
he just doesn't fight like a Mexican, and I think that's why Mexicans don't really like him. And he's a bit of a ducker as well, a bit of a cherry picker and a ducker. That's
Oh,
probably
because of
another
that
reason.
Frampton fight? The third
Look,
one?
he promised Frampton a third fight in Belfast, and as soon as he won, he didn't want no part of it. I don't like people like that. I like a man to keep his word. Who's Santa Cruz fought recently? Worth a toss. Come on. Give me one
Maris?
decent win from Santa Cruz.
Let's check it out.
Got
I don't
him.
even remember. Who's in there? Okay, I thought he was. Let's check out Leo
Abner
Santa
Maris.
Cruz.
Fucking Abner Maris was finished years ago. I mean, this guy, He's going to get pieced up by Santa Cruz.
Yo,
I don't
D,
know what
what
that
are you
noise is in the
playing?
background.
D, we can hear you playing.
God of War.
Ah, never really played those games. The God of War games. Revolucion's doing his test, coming in and out. Gonzalo, I sent you a link. Should work now. And I'm trying to look at Leo Santa Cruz's record. Who did he fight? Okay, by the way, in the chat, Robert Sorensen says Santa Cruz doesn't display a very exciting boxing style. And
No, he
is a
doesn't. He
snoozer.
doesn't. He's fucking boring to watch. He really is. He's up there with Vasquez for me for the most boring Mexican fighters ever to grace a boxing ring.
Well, look at this too. 16th of February 2019, he fought Rafael Rivera 12 rounds, and then in November of 2019, Miguel Flores. So another 12-round decision. So there you have it.
Yeah, there you go. Useless, absolutely fucking useless. I just don't want to see that guy fight. I don't care for him. He should be fighting Gary Russell or someone like that. Anyone, I don't know, anyone. But he don't want to fight anybody. He doesn't even want to fight Frampton again. And Frampton shot to pieces. I mean, look what Josh Warrington did to him. So
you want to
call? Fight that guy again.
Yeah, you want to call Al Heyman?
He just sits there grinning. Whenever you mention a fight to him, he just sits there. Talk to Al. He never wants to call out fighters. He never wants to commit to anything. He's boring, isn't he?
Yep. I mean, look at this. Carl Frampton, 2017. That was a rematch. And since then, 3 years of Abner Mares.
That was his best performance I've ever. That was the best I've ever seen him fight.
Yeah,
best performance. He was brilliant that night, but unfortunately, he should have gone on from then and fought the big guys, and he probably would have been a big star because he had a good little backing. I remember when he was coming through, he had a good back in Santa Cruz, but they just sort of like fell off. Boring to watch, isn't it? Let's be real, boring.
He's 31. He's going to be 32 in August of this year. He's going to be 32 in August this year. Wow.
He's going to be fighting.
Wow.
He's going to dismantle Abner Mares. That's going to be a massacre. Mares won't even get close to him.
Has Mares recovered fully from injury that he sustained in training up to Tank Davis?
Oh yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that was about.
His retina's fucked up. Tank gonna fuck up his other retina. Mares shouldn't fight Tank, man. I think he's too small.
Mares is too small. I agree. He's 5'4". 5'4". Get out of here, man. I don't even think he should be a featherweight. I think he's talking about Ryan Garcia. Get the fuck out of here.
All of those guys will beat the hell out of Abner Mares.
Abner Mares he's one of them guys who just won't go away, isn't he? He's like Shannon Briggs, isn't he? The Mexican Shannon Briggs. He's just there all the time, calling everyone out.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good comparison.
All right. There's an empty blue room here. Is that Gonzalo?
Gonzalo. Yo, D, can you mute, man? Because we can hear the background there.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my bad.
Come on, man. Motherfucking 3 strikes. Come on, man.
3 strikes. Gonzalo, you there?
Yes. How's it going, guys?
What's up? So what do you think about Leo Santa Cruz?
I was going to ask him that.
Well, he hasn't necessarily been setting the world on fire, has he? He's following the route of Mikey Garcia. Just became a 4th division world champion by beating I don't like to use these words often, but a nobody. Okay.
Nobody.
Setting the world on fire. He hasn't even caused a fucking spark. Never mind a fire. I mean, just dreadful to watch. He really is. I mean,
what happened to Mexican fighters, Gonzalo? I'm disappointed here.
Well, it's because once they started getting so much shine, they started taking things for granted, thinking, we're so popular and deserving
90
that
seconds.
We're going to start cherry picking because we've got an audience, we got fans, we got all this attention, so we're just going to take advantage of that because
look, what it is, right? He's with
He
Al
become-
Heyman.
Yeah.
He's with Al Heyman, right? He's seen all the American fighters get big money to fight chumps. So he's thought, I might as well do the same. And that's what happens in the Heyman camp. They're all at it. Why are you going to go and fight some guy that could take your belt from you when you can fight someone easy and get paid well for it? Look, Santa Cruz, like all Al Heyman fighters, cherry picking his way for a career. And that's just how it is. They don't want any part. Look at, I mean, even Errol Spence doesn't want no part of Crawford. Fucking doesn't want no part. I mean, I think Spence could win that fight. I think Spence will win that, but he don't want no part of Crawford. You know, all these guys. Gary Russell Jr. I mean, we're talking about him tonight. Where's that fucking guy been? I mean, fuck me. I think I see Tupac.
I'm gonna call out
I see
Heyman and let you
Tupac
know.
before I saw that fucking guy.
Nah,
Where's he been for the last 20 years? I mean, he's just fucking high. You know, all these fighters that with Heyman, just they don't want it, mate. Porter's the only one. Sean Porter is the only fucking guy, right, that can hold his head up high and say,
10
I've fought the
seconds.
best, and I'll give it me all. He's the only one. There's not another guy there.
Mexican fighters became popular, for lack of a better expression or a way to say it. You know, they became popular for putting in the work. And a lot of the fighters today that are Mexican are riding off the coattails of what the Barreras and the Morales of the world did in their time. So it's basically, you know, they're riding off their popularity. Now it's going to be like the Ukrainians or this new wave of, what is these guys from, what country?
By Eastern European countries?
Uzbekistan, the ones that are going to start doing the work.
Yeah, Uzbekistan.
So that's just the way it works, I think.
Look,
partly.
The thing is, it's a bit of sport culture. I've always said that the American fighters have tracked the best. They've got the best facilities. They've got everything. They're sport fighters, and we're getting paid a lot of money to fight fucking chumps. So this is the problem you've got. This is why Heyman failed with his $500 million PBC adventure. But because at the end of the day, he was paying people like Luis Collazo $2 million to fight. You know, you can't be paying them sort of money out to them sort of guys and then expect to bring money
exactly.
back in. So
it happened to
you've
the
got
Americans too.
That's what I'm saying. So they're getting big money. Danny Garcia's getting $4 or $5 million to fight nobodies. So when you're paying them that, fighters ain't going to want less money for the next fight. So you stuck with paying them big money, and they get into a rut where they're just going to pick chumps. Why are they going to fight a guy that's going to beat them or give them a hard night's work? They don't want no part of that. They want an easy night.
Exactly. Yeah, it happened to the Americans too, and that's been going on for a while with them, and people are starting to catch on. So if the Mexicans follow suit the same way, people are going to start, you know, thinking the same thing about them. You know, the whole waving the Mexican flag and that shit's getting old. You know, Viva Mexico, that shit's getting old.
That's what I'm saying. The days of putting the days of wrapping the fucking Mexican flag around a donkey and getting a fan base are over. Do you know what I mean? You know, you got to go in there and do. That's what we like about Canelo Alvarez. He does the business, doesn't he? You know.
Yeah,
that's right.
It gets to the point you see motherfuckers like Tyson Fury, Shakur Stevenson, Triple G. Everybody's on the Mexican shit now. It's not even a Mexican thing. It's a fucking. It's a catchphrase.
Boring, man. Boring Mexican style.
By the way, in the chat, Randy Pala, he's saying that Fury was wearing loaded gloves. What was Fury's excuse when McDermott outboxed him? Why ain't Fury gonna fight White? Well, he has to fight Deontay Wilder. So
I'm not answering any of them.
You can call in, people. The phone lines are open. Let me put the number on the chat. Let me just post it there. There you go. There's the phone number. Call in. You have any grievances?
Look, Dillian White deserves a fight with Tyson Fury more than Wilder does. Dillian White's got a better resume than Wilder. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but they signed for the fight. I agree with that. Like Dillian White, you know, they keep jerking him around, man. He been deserved to fight, but
yeah,
time for the rematch. So it is what it is. Dillian White got
to wait. It's just trilogies, bro. I don't feel trilogies at all. When Marquez Pacquiao fought us, man, it made my stomach curl. It did. I didn't want to see a fucking 4 fight again. Come on, man. What's this? Jake LaMotta Robinson or something? We're going to see 6.
Well, it's in the
Do you know what I mean?
contract.
So,
It's in the contract.
yeah, I know, but
The drama of the first fights too. The drama of the first fight.
Master Hand said Stu White is a joke. Yeah, he might be a joke, but I can guarantee it, he's going to come in and give a lot harder fight. He's going to put in a better effort than Wilder did. Wilder got embarrassed for every second of every minute of every round. It was embarrassing the way he was falling all over the place. I mean, he got dropped by a body shot to the fucking solar plexus, man. Come the fuck out of here, man. Do you know what I mean? It was embarrassing. The guy was falling short. Look at the fear in his eyes. I mean, he looked like, I'll tell you what he looked like. You know when Golovkin dropped Stevens?
Curtis
Stevens.
Stevens.
He pulled that face. He pulled that face like a fish. That's what Wilder looked like. Terrifying.
The oh shit face. Oh,
yeah, that's the
what
one.
What did I get myself into tonight?
Yeah. So look. Oh man.
Hey,
Dillian White deserves it. Whether he's good enough or not, we'll find out on the night. He's proved that he'll fight anyone, and he gives it his all as well. When do you see him in a shit fight? I mean, he's another one. I think the better the opponent in front of him, the better he's going to be. So, I'd like to see him. I think I'm picking Fury to win that if they do fight. I think Fury wins it. He'll put on a better show than Wilder did. That's what.
In the chat, Master Hand says too, Dillian White is a joker. And then he says, White ain't got a chance of landing on Fury. He's too slow.
Well, you know what, though? Go, Stu. It's your country. You go.
Thing is, with Dillian White, he could land that left hook on anyone. It's a very good punch that he throws, and technically very good as well. With Wilder, he telegraphs his shot, so you're seeing it coming from a mile away. All Fury's got to do is rush in, and White times him with that left hook. Fury's asleep. As simple as that. I mean, he dropped Joseph Parker with that left badly. I mean, sparked Derek Chisora out with it. 2 very good chins. I mean, Derek Chisora's only been stopped by David Haye, so that's So Chisora's got a fucking granite chin, and he slept Chisora. He also dropped Joseph Parker, who hasn't ever been dropped before in a fight. I mean, he's proved what a good chin is.
What about old Lucas Brown?
Lucas Brown's useless.
Yeah, I know he's useless, but it was a pretty knockout.
Yeah, but
Lucas Brown, come on.
Dave Allen knocked him out. That tells you everything tonight.
I think his best knockout was Chisora, man. Jesus Christ, that was an amazing knockout.
Well, there you go. And to do that to a man like Chisora, that's impressive. I'll tell you what, if he lands that shot on Tyson Fury, Fury's going to sleep. I'm telling you, he ain't getting up from that.
I tell you what, he'll get dropped for sure. I don't know if he'll stay down, but he'll fucking get dropped, and he'd be in a lot of trouble.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's what, people write Dillian White off. Yes, he looks fucking horrible on the eye, but he's a dangerous guy. He's got look. That's
the reason why Wilder didn't want to fight him, Stu.
Because like I said, he goes in there. Look, he's not scared to lose. He goes in there, gives it all on the line. He throws shots, and he's a big puncher. If he lands, he's just fundamentally lacking.
Dude, if you're mentally not up for it, the worst guy to face is a guy that's not afraid to lose. If you're afraid to lose and he's not, you could be more talented than him. You could lose that fight because of that.
And the thing with Dillian White as well, doesn't really panic. I mean, when he was in trouble against Parker, fucking rode the storm. Luckily he rode it. But when he was with Chisora, down on the cards in the second fight, most people's eyes, pulled out the knockout. He's learning on the job. You got to remember, this guy's got no amateur background. He comes from a kickboxing background, so he's learning on the job. I think he's a dangerous guy.
He is.
His problem is,
yeah.
Go ahead, Recon.
No, I totally agree with you. Guys like Chisora, they just they're just hardcore, man. I mean, yeah, they could get beaten by better boxer or the next level boxers, but you got to be really good to beat Chisora. If you're like that average of the middle boxer, a little bit above average, good chance he beats you.
Yeah. I mean, Chisora, he went the distance with Vitaly Klitschko, a massive puncher Vitaly was. I mean, he went the distance with him. This guy, went the distance with Dillian White the first one. So he's got a very good chin, Chisora, and to drop him like that, I mean, he weren't just dropped; he was sleeping on the canvas. That shows me the guy's got serious power.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying, Stu. Because also in the Marquez watch fight, that was an out of shape Dillian White, and he was able to deal with that. get through the rough parts because he wasn't in shape at 280 and
Yeah.
still win. Same thing with
Oh,
the
no, he's
Oscar
gonna have to
Rivas
come in.
fight. Oscar Rivas was a tough fighter,
Yeah,
and
he's gonna have
that
to
was
come in
a
light.
good fight.
He's gonna have to come in light against Fury because he can't come in slow and heavy. He has to come in light.
Yeah, well, y'all know we didn't have time for that fight, though, right? Didn't really have time to
Look,
get in.
we're just talking about it. We're not saying it's going to happen. The likelihood is it probably won't. But if it does happen, I think I'd rather see that than Wilder again. That's my point.
Yeah.
I'd be more excited for that. I'd get excited for that fight.
I would too, bro, because he's just gonna I don't know what people thinking, but the outcome of that Wilder fight is just another ass whooping. Just that simple. He's gonna kick Wilder's ass again because look, he beat him in the first fight. Okay. Wilder got a gift, gave him the draw. Second fight, he answered all the questions. He dominated him, beat the hell out of him. If he can outbox you and beat you down, what can you do to beat him, bro? I'm not hearing Wilder can fix this in camp. In one camp, it's going to take one camp, more than one camp.
Listen, what is JD? What is JD is going to teach fucking Wilder, man?
Whoever
What is
they
he going
bring in, I don't care if they bring in George Foreman or whoever.
Come on, man. George. What's George got? Hey, George was hardly fucking Pernell Whitaker himself, was he? Let's be real. I mean, it was his chin that saved George. I didn't see him fucking ducking underneath shots and catching and shooting. So look,
George Foreman was just a big foundation. That's all.
Yeah,
he was.
look, George Foreman's the last person Wilder needs. Wilder needs someone that's just gonna get the best out of his attributes, his athleticism and his speed when he's throwing the right hand. He's got and keeping in shape. You can't fight like that. He just loses his shape, especially when he hurts a guy. I mean, just goes wild, doesn't he? Fucking square on, swinging, slapping his shots. It's just dreadful to watch. So look, I think he just needs to try and keep in shape, keep to the basics. The more simple it is for Wilder, the better. I mean, when you start feeding Wilder with too much information, he's going to get confused and he's going to do nothing. And that's where I am with Wilder. Yes, he can get a little bit better, but very in line.
The more simple, the better, and that way, also you don't create a lot of openings for the opponent to counter you. Just keep it simple, throwing the jab and the right hand.
This is it. This guy's never going to be a guy like an ambush fighter, say like a David Hayes sort of fighter, where he's never going to be that sort of fighter because he just isn't. He just doesn't have that box. He's not a proper boxer, is he? He's just an athlete with a big right hand. He looks horrible on the eye to watch. Nothing flows with the rhythm. It's nothing smooth. Nothing comes natural to him. It's all very unpleasant on the eye. Let's just say that. So this guy just needs to keep things simple. And if you keep things simple, like just keep behind the guard, use the jab when you can, get into range and throw that right hand. I mean, that's all he can do, but it'll get him wins. I'm telling you, because he's still good enough to beat most guys around. I still think that. I don't think Wilder's as bad as people are making him out. But his boxing IQ is his boxing skills. But that right hand equalizes a lot of that out.
Yeah, Wilder can still knock guys out with that overhand right. But the problem is you're gonna need more than that when you're fighting the elite level fighters. When it comes to guys like Tyson Fury, who's definitely got a beat on you. You know what I'm saying? He knows what you want to do, so you gotta be better than that. I don't think he could be. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There was just been really, really good heavyweights in history that have never became heavyweight champions. Ernie Shavers never became heavyweight champion. I don't think David.
Yeah, but there weren't 4 or 5 belts then. There wasn't 4 or 5 belts and stuff. And most of these guys, if there's only one belt today, a lot of these guys wouldn't be champions themselves.
So basically, what I'm saying that Deontay Wilder has been very lucky already to have accomplished what he has.
I mean, look, he'd never get away with what he's done back in those days. No way. So
he would have had to fight. He would have had to fight the number one guy to be. So let's say
Vladimir
Klitschko would have been. Vladimir Klitschko would have been the number one guy he would have had to fight back in 2015 if it was the same system. And let's be honest, like Vladimir Klitschko would have whipped his ass in 2015.
Yeah. I still think Joshua. I think the Joshua that beat Klitschko that night would have whooped Wilder as well.
Yeah, me too.
That's right.
So look, Wilder's done very well out of boxing. He's conned a good living out of the sport. And look, fair play to him, mate. I don't hold grudges on anyone that earns money out of boxing. And that's what I said. I look at Floyd and think, you jammy fucker, I wish I had £1 million to spend on a watch. I never sit there and hate on the guy for what he's done, because every fight deserves to be paid what they've got, sort of thing, especially when they're earning a lot of money. So with Wilder, I mean, you just look at him and you just think, how did he con so many people? I mean, it's just amazing. I've been saying it for years about this guy. They hate me on the Boxing Voice because of it, because I used to go on there and tell them that Wilder's fucking useless, mate. I've been watching enough of this guy to know that he's dreadful, he's terrible. I said he's just an athlete with a big right hand. As soon as he comes up with someone that's got a bit about himself and takes it to Wilder, he'll fall to pieces. And I got his spot on. I even picked the round. I picked the fucking round, got that right. Told you how he was going to lose, got that right. It's just so predictable. Wilder is a guy that, when he fights anyone decent, I won't be picking him to win. But I still think, because the division's so poor, he beats most of them guys in the heavyweight division right now. But when he fights Joshua, he loses that one. Dillian White, I'm picking White to win that one. I'm sorry, I am. Fury is going to be another massacre. Then there's other young Daniel Dubar coming through, Hergovich, these sort of guys. Wilder's going to have to start thinking about these guys soon. Does he really need that? I think he'll be out of the sport, mate. One more fight, one bad defeat, and he's gone.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think he's one. He's just one. He's one loss away from the Tyson Fury again, which more likely I just see happening again. I mean, then on top of that, he's giving Tyson Fury incentives. Like, Tyson Fury already has incentives to beat Wilder again. That's a mega fight for all the belts against Anthony Joshua, right? Now you got all these excuses. You don't think he's listening? Like, he's probably coming to a conclusion. Yeah, I think Wilder's talking shit behind the scenes. I'm gonna fuck this boy up again in a third fight. So, he comes in there extra motivated and he does it again. Wilder's. I can't see him saying, I want to continue boxing, knowing that one of the greats, one of the guys that of my era beat me, 2 out of 3 times officially.
When you talk all that shit and you're the king, I mean, even if you lose the way you lose, I'm talking about Wilder, even though he lost the way he lost, now you gotta go into a third fight no matter what, because you gotta back it up. Even if you know what the outcome's gonna be again, you have to do it. Honor is on the line. Basically, this is about honor, I think. And I think Wilder is a prideful person. And
listen, he's a narcissist. With narcissists, they just don't like to be below anyone. And unfortunately, he knows he's below Tyson Fury now. I mean, the whole world saw it. That's the thing about being a fighter. It's not like being in a back alley behind a nightclub getting whooped in front of a couple of people. You can sort of hide that one. This guy got whooped in front of millions of people. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to run. And that's why boxing's... It's not just, like I said, boxing's the hardest. My dad always said boxing is the hardest graft in the world. There's no hardest, because it's not just the training, it's the dieting, not being able to eat what you want, not being able to fuck your missus, worrying about getting your ass whooped every night when you go to bed. There's so much to worry about, in a boxing ring. It's just, and like I said, it's a tough sport, isn't it? Let's be real, it's a fucking tough sport. So, yeah.
You have to start from really young to have the experience, because it's a pure sport. You're doing something with your hands all the time. I was gonna say he might be able to weasel himself out of the rubber match if he claims an injury. But with the injury, he must believe that he's really injured to convince himself that he can't go through with it because of the injury, and he'll be able to justify it to himself.
The fact that he told me, well, he didn't tell me personally, but he said that he's willing to take step aside money in the first place tells me that his mind's all over the place and he's not really fancying it. But I said he wouldn't. David Hay called it. The thing with David Hay, I know he's a bit of a douchebag, but he does know the sport, and he knows how a fighter thinks after a defeat. I mean, when he got his ass whooped by Bellew. He would know how that feeling is. And he said Deontay Wilder doesn't want no part of that again. He will not take that fight. I guarantee it. And this was like in the commentary seconds after the fight sort of thing. So he saw it and I've seen it as well. I just see in a fighter's eyes when he wants it and when he don't. I've seen it. That's the amount of times I've looked at weigh-ins and stuff. I've looked in a fight and I thought, he don't want this. You know, you just know. And then he turns up that night and falls to pieces. So I don't know, man. Who's confident that Wilder's going to pull that off?
Team denied that claim, though.
Say again?
Wilder has team denied that claim that they wanted to take the money.
Yeah, it sounds kind of weird.
Well, I don't know. I can guarantee you he'll take it if it's offered on the plate.
There's a lot of money on the table. What's that bald guy, the promoter for Deontay Wilder? They want to get back their investment.
Shelly Finkel.
Yeah, but they're going to have to build him back up again. They're going to have to build him back up again. They're not going to match the numbers. They're not going to get 900,000. Nowhere near that. Nowhere fucking near that. They've just watched the destruction.
You'll be surprised.
It's like when you watch Danny Garcia v Rod Solker. Did you want to see that again? I know it weren't that sort of knockout, but it was that sort of one-sided beatdown, weren't it? It was just a different sort of manner. I've watched the fight enough times. I didn't see Wilder win 1 second of that fight.
The first fight. That's all they need. That's all his fans need. That first fight, that hope, that the right hand, the power. That's all they need. And it's right there. And it is a replay of that 12th round of the first fight. That's all they need. They're going to cling.
You know,
Stu,
and 24 rounds enough, Granny. I mean, he gave 24 rounds. He'd had to land that and win that fight. Yeah, he couldn't do it.
For Wilder fans, it's gonna take like Wilder to get defeated 3 times for them to finally let reality sink in. This isn't enough. This is they don't believe it, and you can just see by their reaction that all these excuses that are coming out so they're in denial. For them, that second fight didn't even take place, basically. So it's going to take another reality check for them to finally realize that this guy, Wilder, is never going to beat Tyson Fury.
But the thing is with these fans, they're going to call for a 4th one if it's any sort of, if it's competitive in any sort of way. They're going to call for a 4th one. It's just never going to end. I mean, like I said earlier, it's like when you're playing your mate and you're whooping him on the PlayStation and he wants to keep playing you until he gets one on you. In the end, you just like lose the will to fucking play sort of thing. So he nicks one, doesn't he? So is that what we're going to be, where he has to fight Tyson so many times until he gets a win and then we can move on? I mean, come on, man. When does it stop?
He's in the contract.
One at a time.
60-40 for the winner. This is why it's happening. Although people don't want to see it, it was already in the contract.
Yeah, it's in the contract.
Man, they're gonna keep having matches until fucking Wilder's only hope is that Tyson Fury throws out his shoulder in a round, rolls an ankle or something, and has to be like, all right, I gotta quit this one. But I'll get.
Look, the problem is Yeah, the problem is with that, they signed that contract for a rematch. I don't know why. Who signs another rematch on a rematch? I mean, it's just bizarre when they'd sign that contract. The thing is, they did it to spite Hearn and Joshua, and it sort of backfired on them. Because they thought that what they'd do, they thought they'd just keep it in-house between them two and keep fighting each other, making money. But it was so one-sided, they can't sell that again. How are you going to sell that? What highlights are you going to put in the build-up to the 3rd one of Wilder having success? You're just going to show him coming in with his fucking gimp suit. That's about it. That's all you can do. So look, how do you sell it? You've got. I'm fucking losing the world at talk.
Yeah, I know what you mean. How do they sell it? But still, I want to touch on a point that you mentioned. Who would sign a 3rd fight? Before the 2nd fight. Well, the thing is that
they did it to get a Hearn and Joshua to say, look, we've signed for the next 2 years. That teacher. Yeah, that's what they did. They've done it, but now it's backfired them because now they want the Joshua fight. They're in this fucking contract with Wilder. Look. They're going to lose money. I'm telling you that now. If that fight happens, they will lose money. You cannot pay Deontay Wilder another 20 million and Fury, say 30, whatever, for that. They're not going to make. If they do 500,000, they'll be lucky. Mm-hmm. Trust me.
Stu, I just want to touch on that point that you mentioned. Why would they sign a 3rd fight before the 2nd fight? Because what they expected was, these were the scenarios that were possible. Like Fury winning the 2nd fight, but they believed that Fury couldn't stop Wilder. And even if Fury won, it would be like a decision, right? So it wouldn't be as bad a loss for Wilder, but that they didn't expect Fury to destroy Wilder. That's the problem. Now they're stuck with a third fight.
I don't think it's anything. I think it was all to do with getting Joshua. Like saying, look, we don't need you, Joshua. We're making the big bucks. Everyone, that was all right for the second fight. Yes, they did have the shine. They took the shine off Joshua. Fury's took his shine. There's no doubt about that. But in the third fight, the American media are not going to be nowhere near as interested as there was in the last match. They're not going to be on board. When you look at all the ESPNs and all these guys, even the guys that don't really do sports that much, who had them on, they're saying they don't want to see it again. So if the American media not behind it, then how do you sell it?
Agreed.
Yeah, and really the media was more behind the rematch in the first place. It's like the first match.
They had a reason to be. They had a highlight reel. They showed you Tyson Fury getting up like the fuck. No, they showed you Tyson Fury getting up like the fucking Undertaker and stuff like that. They're showing you that it was a draw. Everyone wanted to see the rematch. There's not one person I know that said no, I don't want to see that again. It was a brilliant fight.
It was easy for people who missed the first one. They look back, oh shit, that happened.
Exactly. Now, what are they going to do? The people that didn't see the second one, what are you going to show them to convince them that this is a fair fight?
First fight.
For that second one.
Yeah. Fuck. Wow, they're really fucked, dude.
Yeah, like I said, mate, I mean, boxing's not easy to sell in America as it is. Terence Crawford will tell you that. So look, if that does 500,000, I'd be surprised. I would.
Perry Mason.
Speaking of Crawford, did you guys do your predictions for the potential Pacquiao Crawford?
Oh, we'll do that in another show.
Yeah, we're going to do a proper show on that. That's when we do a full show on.
Yeah, it's because that's a big fight. Perry Mason in the chat says, "Oh, sorry, that's I don't think Wilder respects the sport and legends of boxing. See what he said about Mike Tyson in the 2017 video. Okay, so what do you guys think about that? He doesn't respect the sport. I mean, well, the way he trains, no.
Look, the fact that he's not willing to learn anything, the fact that the first person he threw under the bus was Breland, tells me everything about this guy. He don't respect the sport. I'm fucking disrespecting people like Iron Mike and everyone else. You know, he don't. If he respected the sport, he'd learn. He'd try and learn and get better. But he doesn't. He's so fucking arrogant. This guy thinks that what he's doing is the right way to go about business, and it is when you're fighting bums.
And it's also go D.
I don't need skill. I just need my right hand. So like
exactly,
like of respect right there. Like, what do you mean the sweet science? Do you even know what the sweet science is about? You're not gonna get through this sport just being a one-trick pony. I just need my right hand. No, you need more than just your right hand.
Let me come and perform that one trick on you. That's the only thing he says when you ask him about it. So look.
He'll say something stupid like, well, they got to be perfect for 12 rounds. I only got to be perfect for 12 seconds. Something stupid like that.
Well, he weren't even. The thing is, in that last fight, he wasn't even perfect for 2 seconds. That's the problem.
He's never perfect. You got your ass whooped by Molina. You got whooped by Spilka. You just knocked him out. You were never perfect.
And you want to talk about disrespect, too. I mean, you want to talk about disrespect. Wilder saying, man, you should just let me die in the ring. How fucking disrespectful is that on the backs of fucking 2-3 people died in the ring, like within a few months of him saying that? Like, I just didn't sit well with me either.
Yeah. No, that's disrespectful. And damn, I forgot what I was gonna say about Wilder. I forgot.
He's a clown.
Oh yeah. What's his trainer? Not Mike Breland, the other guy, the white guy.
Dees.
Who is this guy? Where did he find him? Where did Wilder find this guy? Seriously, who is he?
Oh no, but if anybody should have got kicked out, it should have been JD.
I know, man.
Hey mate, JD's the sort of guy that will watch Deontay Wilder get vegetabled in the boxing ring, but still carry around, hanging around the guy, pushing around in his wheelchair and stuff, still trying to jump on board to his trips to Europe and stuff. He's only there for the perks of being with Deontay Wilder, going around the world, being shown with the champ. You know,
that's right.
Who else is gonna Who else is going to hire JD? Come on.
No.
Whatever
He said
opportunity.
if
That's why.
Wal-
Have you noticed? He had no intentions of throwing that ring in. It was Rocky Balboa in there against Apollo against Drago. He just didn't want to throw the towel. He had it in his hand. He just didn't want to throw it. So, and then he watched his man get massacred, sort of thing. So
But
that's where we are with Diaz. The guy's shameful. He's an absolute disgrace. And Mark Breland, the only man that can hold his head up high in that whole Deontay Wilder camp. Trust me.
JD said if Wilder were to retire, he would retire too from boxing. He's not a boxing guy. He was just like a regular business guy, a businessman, and his brother called him up with the idea of opening a boxing gym, and that's what they did. And then Wilder stepped in.
Yeah,
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, JD's. It just says
Look, fighters think,
he was the first. He was the first ever promoter in Alabama to be licensed.
Look, the best fighters. If you look in the history books, all the best fighters, they got away from trainers that they were with from a kid, because there's only so much a level he can take you to, where he's only got so many ideas, and when you're doing the same things year after year, it gets repetitive. So you have to change things up, and most great fighters have done that. Like I said, it's always good to change things up. When you stay with the same guy for years, the thing with boxers, they think they owe these guys anything. No, you don't owe fuck all, man. You're the one getting in the boxing ring there, and they're just sitting there holding the towel. So look, fighters don't owe trainers nothing. So I don't get where Wilder is even staying with Diaz. He should have sacked Diaz on the night, kept Breland as a number 2, and got someone world class in. That's what he should have done.
And by the way, you know something? A lot of these times, these trainers, they have a relationship with a fighter, especially if they've been around for a long time. And it doesn't seem like he even cared about Wilder, because Wilder was all fucked up in there in the ring, all busted up, and it was Mike Breland who, like, because he has actual knowledge of the sport, he said, like, there's no way he's going to come back.
All he was thinking about is, well, the perks are going to stop now for a bit, and you know.
Jesus Christ.
That's all he's thinking. That's what he's thinking. Do you think? Did he look like he cared? Go and watch him ringside. Did he look like he cared when blood was pissing out of fucking Wilder's ear, and he looked like he was about to die? No, he didn't give a shit. That man don't care nothing for Deontay. All he cares about is getting his flights to Europe and standing near the champ, getting his picture taken. He's a piece of shit. He's not a boxing man. Look, he should have been sacked that night. That fucking night, he should have gone. But no, he's still there. And then people want to say Wilder's going to get better. Wilder's going to learn. What, with that fucking guy in the corner? Have a word for yourself, please.
It even happens to fighters that have their fathers as trainers, and this is beware for Teofimo Lopez. It happened to Nito Naide. It happened to Floyd Mayweather with his father, many others. So I think it could happen to Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, that relationship between trainer and fighter is far from being perfect always.
Look, there's only so much information a trainer will have. There's a certain way he'll want his fighters to train. There's certain training methods, and that's it. And when you keep doing the same things repetitive, that's when you start to get stout, and that's when your levels start to drop. You got to keep fresh ideas. Look at the difference between when Tyson Fury, who left like Peter Fury and Ben Davison, that backward sort of trainers, back foot fighter sort of trainer. He went to a Kronk sort of style, and like I said, look how fresh and look how recharged he looked. That's what you got to do. You got to keep self motivated, bringing new ideas. You can always learn in a boxing ring, but these fucking guys that do the same thing week in, week out, they go stout, and that's what will happen to a lot of these guys, especially with Lopez. I mean, Danny. I mean, let's be real. Danny's gone stout with Angel Garcia. What has Angel Garcia brought new to Danny in the last few years? Come on,
that's right. That's right. He's kind of a 1-2, very basic. Very basic guy.
Yeah, he hasn't really improved at all. By the way, we have a phone call. 510. You're on the air. 510.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Ross Clot. Hey, what's the topic?
What's the topic? Eddie
we're talking about trainers, right, Rascot? Do you think if a fighter stays with the trainer too long, they can start getting stale? You know, doing the same things all the time. I think every fighter, a top fighter, should always move on with trainers and learn new ideas. What do you think?
Oh well, I think it's too late for Wilder to learn anything. I think right about now, he was getting away with the victories and stuff, I think is because he had weak competition.
Yeah.
You know, guys who already been knocked out before, besides Ortiz, and you can't teach your old dog the trick. That's the old saying. What's up, D. Jeffrey? Yep.
He's playing video games.
Carry on, Roscoe. Carry on, Roscoe.
D. Jefferson, call him D. Jeffries.
I think right about now I want to see Anthony Joshua versus Fury or Dillian White versus Fury. I don't think anyone wants to see a third match because, like D just said, you know, he beat him boxing him and then he beat him rolling him. There's no way he could beat him.
Yeah, I agree.
That right hand, though. The right hand.
Would you rather see him in there with Dillian White?
With that right hand.
Tyson Fury, that
He
is.
ate it. That's the reason why Wilder's spirit was gone. He hit him in the right hand in the first round, and Fury ate it.
Yeah. Would you rather see Tyson Fury fight Dillian White or Deontay Wilder again? What would your preference be?
I want to see him fight Dillian White. I think Dillian White is going to give us a great fight. I think Fury's going to win, but I think Dillian White is going to make it exciting. I don't think Fury is going to bully and beat up on White the way he did Fury. With Dillian White, it's a whole different cloth.
I said exactly the same thing, Roscoe. I said exactly the same. He's going to put on a lot better performance and giving it a lot better go than what Wilder did. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, Stu, I think Dillian White, and I've said this before, way before the Fury, but Dillian White can beat Wilder.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm picking him. I'm picking him to beat Wilder.
Ortiz is going down.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I mean, look, you're only as good as your last performance. Yeah.
That's why the WBC keep playing games with Dillian White. And they thought that he was going to beat Fury, and he ended up losing. Now they're really going to duck White.
I think it's disgraceful what the WBC have become. They've just become a cancer to the sport. I mean, that green belt, it's about as worthless as a rainbow belt to me. You might as well have an LGBT belt. That WBC belt means nothing. It fucking means nothing to me, man. I mean, the way they just hand that belt to their favourite guys. Santa Cruz, I mean, that guy, he'll leave a division and he's champion straight away, isn't he? They'll feed him some can, he'll fight some vacant title fight against some can and win a title.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know how many belts does the WBC have? Yeah, franchise belt, diamond belt. How many belts do they need?
They have the WBC Latino belt, the WBC Eastern European belt, everything. Right?
They got the WBC Latino Gold, which is really silver.
I mean, they've actually created a belt for a division that don't even exist for Canelo Alvarez. Beat that one. I mean, look, it's just when did it fucking stop? Look, the WBC are an absolute disgrace. The way they've let Deontay Wilder hijack. Well, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Look, the fact is, he fought Ortiz twice, Stavern twice, fucking Areola, these sort of people. I mean, Gerald Washington, Brazil. The fact that the WBC picked these guys tells me everything you need to know. This guy here is Al Heyman's little pet. He's his little fucking pet, mate.
Yep.
Al Heyman walks around with him on a lead.
Yeah, but he's always been like that with top promoters that are hot.
It's ridiculous.
He's a fucking piece of shit. I know that. A terrible man for boxing. This guy's not fair.
He reminds me of the Puff Daddy of boxing.
Hey, fuck me, I thought that was fucking Diego Costa there, Gonzalo.
Diego Costa. Yeah, I just woke up.
Diego Costa, man. Look, that's where I am with it. That's where I am anyway. Move on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then it's like with Wilder, there's no trainer that's going to help him. Listen, he had a great trainer. I think Mark Breland is a great trainer. And for someone who fights the way Breland fights, I'm really upset with the fact that they didn't teach Wilder the basic fundamentals. For someone who used basic fundamentals to be a great amateur and be a great champion at welterweight, how come you didn't teach Wilder? They got too spoiled with the right hand, and it was an easy payday for them. That's what it was. It was lazy training, in my opinion.
Do you know, I was speaking to a guy who started as a pro fighter back in the day, fought some good names. And he was saying, because the problem with a lot of the fighters that become trainers, you know, when you get world-class fighter that retires and becomes a trainer, he goes, the reason a lot of them don't really make good trainers is because they get frustrated because the guys they're training just don't have the talent that they have. So they're not getting their message across.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of them don't become very good trainers, because you're only as good as the tools you're given. You know, it's like De La Hoya being a trainer, you know, or Floyd or someone like that. Floyd's not going to be able to get fucking Badu Jack to fight like him, is he? So,
or some of
Yeah.
some of the trainers that they used to be fighters, when they were fighters, they weren't really that good. Like Freddie Roach wasn't a great fighter, but he's a better
Robert
trainer.
Garcia wasn't really. Robert Garcia was a good fighter, but he wasn't nothing special. You know, usually the fighters, usually the fighters that become the better trainers are the ones that weren't at the top of the game, like Jamie Moore, people like him. He looks like he's going to be a very good trainer, half decent fighter, British level, sort of that. But the world class fighters, because they don't become good trainers, because what they know and what they can teach, you've got to have the tools to teach it. And a lot of these fighters are just not good enough. You know, at the end of the day, if you're fucking not good enough, you're not good enough. You know.
Well, Recognize told me that Chris Eubank Sr. is the best trainer he's ever seen, but I don't know if that's true.
Well,
no. He said simply the best trainer. Simply the best.
Listen, I don't ever remember him being
simply
in a corner. Well, yeah, I suppose he has been in the corner, but I never listen to what he's saying because it's fucking nonsense. Isn't it? What sort of information is he giving you that you're going to take in? So look, he's not the sort of guy I'd want in my corner. Just put it that way.
What was the fight where he was coaching Chris Eubank and like there was just that round in between rounds? He's like, he didn't say a fucking word.
Yeah, they just started posing around with his fucking glass eye thing.
That's right. He just stood there and looked at him.
Yeah. The motivational stuff might work sometimes. The whole rah shit, that might work for some guys if you can put a fire under their belly, but not always.
Yeah.
Look, it's like Nigel Benn. Nigel Benn's son's trains, but Nigel Benn took a step back. He doesn't want to train his son.
Right.
Conor Benn is not Nigel Benn. Let's get that fucking straight. And this is the problem, you know.
Yeah,
That's why I don't really like son and father relationships in boxing. I don't really like it. I think Kenny Port and Sean works because Sean Porter's a disciplined kid that respects his dad and listens, sort of thing. But a lot of the time, Teofimo and his dad is going to be one that they're going to end up falling out. You know,
that's right.
Them sort of, you know, so yeah. I don't really like. I mean, Roy Jones. I don't even know if he speaks to his dad to this day over his career. So look, that usually turns sour. So
especially with the wife, with the Teofimo's wife. I don't think the
wife will get involved. Yeah,
I'm ready.
What? Yeah, that's recognized?
You know,
I'm ready.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say a lot of the trainers.
You're going to fight oppression, recognized?
Trainers, it's because they make a lot of mistakes and they know how to teach their fighter not to make those mistakes.
Who's that? Who's that guy there?
Recognize the demon.
Is that you, Recognize?
Yep.
Why are you in the bathroom, man?
Yeah, Recognize is ducking me. Hey, Recognize is ducking me on
what
the
what
he knows I'm undefeated.
No, you're not undefeated. You haven't fought me yet.
Hey, I wonder how many fucking amputations have happened in that bath.
This is my getaway bathroom. Check it out. This is my getaway bathroom. This is my basement bathroom.
Look, you look at Recognize with his little flashy lights in the bathroom. You know it's getting all sexual when he. Yeah, you can imagine him at night time. I bet he gets all fucking sexual. Puts R. Kelly on.
Look at the little kitty. Look at the little kitty.
Puts the candles on with a bit of R. Kelly.
Yeah. Little hand
wash. There ain't nothing wrong. with a little bump and grind.
Hey, but guys, man, thanks for having me on. I gotta go. I think Box and Jason Bourne's mother, they got stuck in the window trying to steal some shoes during a riot.
Rascott, wait, before you go, one question before you go. What's your debate record?
Down there during the riot. Peace, guys.
What's he now, 52, 53 and 0?
He's always going after the chat. Certain people in the chat.
Recognizes Antifa.
Recognizes Antifa. Yo, I like that, man. That shit is funny.
Damn, Recognize you light skinned, dude. I thought you were Asian at first.
I'll try to tell you.
I was like, who's Asian on the panel?
Asian?
I thought he was fucking wrestling Provodnikov when I first saw him.
But if you put a mask on Ruslan Provodnikov and you look at just his eyes, you might think he's Asian, though. He do have those chinky eyes.
Yeah, I try to tell people. They be like, yo, man, I'm like, I don't think you've ever seen me in person, man. You might have a different opinion.
If your avatar is your picture, that's why. That's
no,
why
that is me. That is me.
Yeah, that fucks people up because you look black.
But I just took it from the side. That's all. Took that.
Mm-hmm.
That picture.
Because that picture in your fucking in your Google picture, you look like fucking Felix Trinidad in that one. What's going on here?
It was like Cotto in the beginning of his career, he looked black, but then later he started looking white.
With the afro. He cut the afro when the treatment started leaving.
Recognize it's gone from fucking Felix Trinidad to Danny Garcia. What's going on, man? What's going on?
You know what? I'm sort of like in between. Well, no, I would say more like Danny Garcia, but a little darker.
Hey, Recognize. You can tell you're on lockdown, bro. You've not been getting that sun to your skin.
Oh yeah. There's no sun to get. I'm always. Well, I go outside. I walk my dog. I take the kids out. But I'm not out too long.
Recognize how many years ago was it when you decided to stop walking around the streets of New York with no shirt on?
I was about 22, mate.
Oh wow, so it's been a long time. 2 decades.
Yeah.
About
more. Yeah. 2 decades and a half.
Hats off.
2 decades and a half.
God damn.
Yeah.
Before I was even born, you stopped that shit.
Yeah.
That's back in the 80s, strictly.
You know when you're younger, you're skinny, you look diesel as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So you do it. But then when you start getting older, you start putting on weight. Nobody wants to see that shit.
Yeah, dude. I look back at old pictures of me, like at fucking little local band shows I'll be with all my fucking dude friends, and like we're all in some little VFW, like with no shirts on, singing along to some stupid local band. I'm like, this is. Once you said that shit, I'm like, wow, man, I look bad in these pictures. 17-year-old boy, no shirt on, with a bunch of other 17-year-old boys. Like, oh, embarrassing.
Yeah, you could get away with that when you're young, or you're like fucking live in the gym or some shit. Like you work on every ab, every little single ab and shit.
Hey, I'm seeing something. Hey, Revolution. I'm seeing you. I'm seeing a bit of Dave. I'm just definitely seeing a bit of David Diamante in you, mate. Even getting his fucking hair like him.
Oh no! Yeah, let me take it out real quick. Hold up.
Yeah, man, you got that David Diamante look about you, man.
Too much ball cap makes you go bald a little bit. Revolution. Just to let you know.
I know. I took a few years off, but I like my hats too much. I got a nice collection. I just bring them back.
There's Revolution. Look.
Who's that? Yeah, if you could Photoshop the hair red, that's perfect. I even do the announcing style too. Recognize Matrix.
Recognize the light skin Matrix.
Yeah.
Recognize.
You guys You guys
Was that recognised?
Yeah,
I recognise Ruslan Provodnikov. Put a picture of Ruslan Provodnikov up.
No, put the fat black dude up. That's not Butterbean. That's Black Eyed Peas. Two. Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets.
I want some
Crickets.
supper, man.
Very
I want
cool.
some porridge, man.
Man, boxing better get back. They need to get back because they need to start making some money, man. Or these people are starting to start going under, these companies, and the fighters' pockets.
They're already going under.
Yeah, man. They're still fucking scaremongering in the UK. I mean, about 20,000 people died yesterday, according to something like that. You know what I mean?
20,000 people from the coronavirus?
No, I'm only joking. I'm joking. Don't fucking.
Oh, shit.
So
I didn't even think.
Gonzalo be telling his wife that 20,000 people died in the UK yesterday.
Hey, Stu, I know people that won't leave their house. They're like, I'm like, yo, you got to get out, man.
Yeah, what's their plan?
I gotta hand it to the Philippines, man. I gotta give these guys credit because they don't have no cases where I'm at in the province. But if you have like one guy that tests positive, they'll lock it down again. They did it already. They're really like good about that. The Filipinos.
Yeah, the thing is though, these days there's been a bit of a chest infection going around the UK. But there's been a bit of a chest infection going around the UK, and I think I got it for a little while, but I didn't want to fucking show anyone. I mean, you'd rather tell someone you got AIDS in the fucking cough around these days. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
I got AIDS. Let's have unprotected sex. It's okay.
Yeah, you would. Like I said, so I'm holding this coffin, innit? Trying to stay away from people. I knew it weren't the coronavirus because obviously I know what the signs are for that. But yeah, you start coughing around people. You the next minute you're in they're fucking burning you alive, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, be in a fucking mass grave.
I remember that story. One time a girl told me, I have AIDS, but, it's okay. I took my medication.
Oh,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I bet Gonzalo still fucking went there, didn't you, Gonzalo? I bet Gonzalo still went there. It was all paranoid the next day, innit?
Hey, I'm sure, listen, if you had if you had a very active
double bag
life, there's a good chance you met a girl with AIDS. You never know.
Oh, shit.
I'd like to think that I haven't.
Yeah, me either. Like, I don't want to, but I always keep in mind, like,
E. Jefferson.
Listen, I don't want to go out like Freddie Mercury. There's a better way to go. Do you know what I mean? There's a better way to go.
What are we watching on D's cam there? He's just like
he's cleaning up the kitchen.
Yeah,
he's cleaning up the kitchen.
Does she know that? Hey, has he got one of them secret cameras or something? He's watching his wife.
Yeah, I think his secret camera's on right now.
Yeah. She better not get into anything.
No fucks given. All right.
Hey, D better not be cooking. That's my
D.
bit.
Jefferson. That's not D.
Well, it seemed like his girlfriend or wife or whatever.
I don't know. Feel like out of respect.
I know it's definitely not D.
All right. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe you should kick him off. Maybe you should boot him because I don't think it's respectful to have his wife on the fucking screen. I don't even know if she's aware. So
all right.
Yeah, she might not be aware. So that's not
No, I think he's muted it, isn't it?
Yeah, he muted it. Yeah, but yeah, fuck.
Well, at least he's fucking cleaning the house, and a lot of the girls I know fucking don't even do that.
Yeah, the one thing I gotta say, I respect D. You can tell D's the man of the house. I respect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Well, all right, guys. Maybe we should call it a day, man.
I don't want to talk about Wilder no more.
Let's call it a day. It's gonna be 3 hours soon.
Yeah, fucking hell.
All right, guys.
Gonna start charging overtime here, man.
Exactly. I don't want to pay overtime. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us.
Did you pay recognize? Hey, did you pay recognize the check that he left in the canteen?
I left it in the BDA cafeteria.
Yeah, that's the one. Did you pay him in the end?
It's in an
envelope. Man, so I got to go back?
Oh, did the cleaner checked it away? Did she? Oh, right, okay. Sorry, recognise. You'll have to. We'll send you another one. We'll send you another.
Yeah, send me another one, man. That's all.
We'll send you another one.
That'll fix.
Hey, before we go, when's the trivia going down?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, let's do recognize. Oh, he bounced. Damn.
Whatever. Announce it.
Gotta contact Del Boy. All right, I'll take care of it. I guess Thursday. Does that work?
Tomorrow, Thursday, whenever. We're gonna do it quick. It's gonna be kind of impromptu.
All right. Do you have everything ready though? You have the questions?
Yeah, because I got questions from 2 matches that were left over on the tournament that we didn't get to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about 20, 30, 40 questions. So we're good. We're good for a championship match. But then after that, we start building the bank.
Okay,
up
I'll talk to Mark. I'll talk to Mark and get his questions. And I have a few questions as well.
There
All
it
right.
is.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you on Skype, recognize. Sorry, Revolution. Anyways, I'm fucking tired.
Thank you.
Guys, take care, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in everyone. Totally fucking disappointed in everyone.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in everyone.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He's just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.